success.
What's up? Welcome to your favorite podcast, The Ain't Shit Show, the home of Bulls views and unpopular opinions. I want to thank y'all for joining us for episode 147.
147.
My name is Fresh, and I'm one half of the pod guys. And with me, I had the best man of all the podcast land, my right hand man, Mr. BL.
Hola, A. Hope y'all doing all right. Happy Wednesday, I think today. Yeah, today's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday.
Yeah.
Hope y'all doing all right in pod land.
Yes. We are here. Hopefully y'all got our last episode that posted this week as well after it took forever. I ain't gonna even go in on them niggas because I got some free credits and shit, but it still took a long fucking time. I'm not gonna say who our podcast platform host is, but y'all gotta work faster than that, man. Y'all gotta work faster than that. But we here. All is well, and we are here. B Hill and I were talking about prior to getting on air. We were talking about a place that we used to work, right? And we started recording, and I wanted to ask B Hill, B, do you remember when we all worked together at the insurance company and we used to fucking do photoshopping and shit all the time? Bro, you was in it. You was in it. Sharice was getting clowned. Niggas was getting clowned off the Photoshop, bro.
Word? I don't remember that shit.
Only reason I know you was in it, man, because Sharice was in it. And I feel like you were making pictures of Sharice as well.
I probably was. I've literally been joking on Sharice since the day I met her.
Since
that's my name.
The beginning of time, yo. So, shout out to Sharice.
But she fucking be joking like hell too, though. That motherfucker is like a witty motherfucker. Like she would crack with your ass. That's
for sure. Like me and Sharice used to go at it all the time and just be joking and shit. And we used to go in on everybody else. And she always used to be like, nigga, you got association disorder just like me. I was like, what that mean? She was like, when you see some shit trigger something, you always got some shit to say in reference. I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I do. Like,
smart ass. She's a little smart fucking asshole too.
Hey,
Bigfoot motherfucker.
I don't know if you saw the other day, but Jada, shout out to Jada, posted a pic yesterday. She sent it to us. I feel like this is something I can share because it's funny. But she sent she had posted a picture yesterday and was just like caption this or something. And
I seen that shit.
And Sharice hit her. She sent us a screenshot and Sharice hit her. So it's to frame it up for y'all. So it's like our friend Jada, who listens to the show, her wife, shout out to them. We mention them quite often. But they listen to the show, but she sit there, she like looking cool and shit. She kind of got like her, you know how you had like your hand up under your nose, between your nose and your lip, like awesome chill shit, right? Sharice gonna text her and talk about some I smell pussy. Hey.
And you know what's crazy is I fucking hear her saying that shit. Like.
Bruh, and she texted just like that, which made me weak, cause then when I looked at the picture, I was like, that's exactly what this picture said.
Oh, fucking it's crazy. She is a piece of shit. What's up with Sharice Bigfoot?
Shout out to Sharice. I doubt that Sharice listened to this cause she don't support nobody's shit but her own.
No, she actually don't listen though. She used to tell me, she was like, y'all motherfuckers is made for this. Like, this is like, she said, she hit me like randomly one time, like, y'all motherfuckers is made for this shit. Like, you know, just talking shit and all. She was like, that shit crazy because we've been doing that shit since
Ever.
We first met a long time ago, and I was like, yeah, that's a fact. So no, I don't know if she's like a constant listener, but she definitely listened to the show.
Hey, shout out to Cherie. Shout out to her son, Keon. He is a starting defensive end for Georgia Tech. Nice.
And he is they play Friday, and he is potentially, he's going to be very good, and he can potentially, God willing and Godspeed, no injuries and shit, he has the potential to make the NFL, and that's really fucking dope, because he's been really good for a long time, and just to see him, that motherfucker's huge, and I know him since he was a fucking baby. And
I have not seen him in person. I have not seen him in person since he was a kid. Like, nigga, I literally remember Sharice going around every year like, give me $6 for my baby because he turning 6. Give me $7 for my baby because he turning 7. Like, I remember giving this nigga $6s and $7s and $8. And now this nigga is huge. I see pictures with him and Sharice. Like, Sharice is huge. Yeah. So like, he towers above her.
Yeah, he big as hell. And he's like, he defensive end. Like, he a defensive end. Like, he's starting for Georgia Tech. So you already know you got to be like, that ain't no slouch. You know what I mean? Team. It ain't like he playing for.
I ain't know he was down here in the A though.
Cause he was playing at, he's staying in the A. Yep. He's staying at Georgia Tech. Yeah. So he doing his thing, man. So he played this weekend. Hopefully, has a great season and, bodes well for him and he can potentially get in there. But they got him touted as like all first season, ACC, all ACC and shit like that. So
nice.
That's good shit.
Nice.
Hope he does well.
Congrats to Keon. Congrats to Sharice for just raising, single mom raising the king like that. You know what I'm saying? Getting him to the places that he need to be.
Especially having Sharice as a mom.
Especially having Sharice as a mom, bro. Especially.
I know that shit was wild. Shit.
How the kids going back to school and shit? Like, I don't know how as a parent, you probably ain't really got deep into it yet because your baby's still kind of babies. But that growing up shit, bruh, I can't handle it. I cannot handle the growing up of it all, bruh.
Yeah, that shit sucks, man. My little girl called me bruh like 9 times a day. That shit was I was about to goddamn throw her ass on the wall. Like, if you don't stop calling me bruh, you little motherfucker. Like bruh, chill, bruh. Like, who the fuck you talking to?
Who you talking to? Who you talking to, man? I got first day of school pics for my nieces and nephews and shit. And, auntie fever. Like, oh my God. Like, I cannot believe these kids are getting older. My nephew went to pre-K. I talked to him before school and I asked him, was he ready? A couple of days before, he said he wasn't ready. He's 3. He said he wasn't ready. And then when it came to school day, I talked to him. He said he was ready. And I said, call me. I said, call me after you get out of school or whatever. Right. So it's early, like whatever time they get out of pre-K, like 1:00 or whatever time. And he calls me or whatever. And again, he's 3 and he's cute as everything. And he has dimples and I love him to death. And, he calls me and he's on the FaceTime and I asked him how school was or whatever. And he was like, I got friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. He's 3. So you gotta think like, he probably haven't really met that many kids outside of like his family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
COVID been 18 months. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm going through right now. You know what I'm saying? With my youngest son, cause like he was at home daycare until last year. He would have gone to pre-K, but obviously it was COVID, so he had to do the shit online. So now he's in kindergarten and he's like making friends and shit.
Wait, they did pre-K online? That is insane.
Couldn't do it. Yeah, I mean, they had to do something. Like, he was enrolled at pre-K, so they was just like...
I didn't really think pre-K was like real school. I just thought it was kind of like... I thought it was kind of like daycare light.
Yeah, I mean, not mine. Like,
I don't know. I don't remember pre-K, of course. Like,
I don't think I even went to pre-K.
I think I went to pre-K, I think. I'm not sure. Let me not lie. I know I went to kindergarten, though.
You had to. I think we all went to kindergarten. But I remember going to daycare, but I don't know if it was called pre-K. I think. Who knows? But I remember my first day at kindergarten. But yeah, it was wild because he was super nervous and shit. That shit was crazy.
My nephew
super
told
nervous.
me, he said, my friend cried, I didn't cry. I was like, oh, okay. Cause I didn't know how he was gonna, I didn't know how he was gonna take it. And he get into the mode where he asks people, do they want to fight? And you know what I mean? Like, you want to fight? Yeah. You want to fight? That's all he said. Then balling up his fingers, fist talking about, do you want to fight? Do you want to fight? I was like, Lord, please don't let him go in here and they're gonna smack one of these kids or something. But, we gotta give, I guess kids really feed off what you give them. You know what I'm saying? If you nervous and you this and you that, then they gonna go in. But, shout out to my brother and his mother. And
I heard a quote today. Tighe said that he heard Jay Prince say it, but he said, kids is not what they taught, it's what they caught. And I was like, ooh, that shit was fire. But like, they learn by experience as human for that matter. Like you can certainly tell them, but like it's what they catch on to, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, that's pretty fire.
Yeah.
But, that shit
and kids gonna do more what they see than what they hear anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Taught, not caught. I mean, caught, not taught. So, obviously taught, but majority of that shit is like, seeing examples and shit and how that shit moves. But yeah, that shit was dope, man. That shit was dope. It's nerve wracking as fuck, you know what I'm saying? Just because it's a whole fucking pandemic and kids, like, shit is just whack.
Are they wearing masks or no?
Hell
okay. Is it mandated or is it optional?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
hey, all these states and school systems got their own shit going on. You know what I'm saying? It's just hard to keep up.
Yeah, fuck that.
With what's going on.
Fuck
how did you get your kids to understand that they must, keep this mask on, especially your little one?
I told them, shit. Yeah. Like, keep your mask on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'll be wearing a mask when I'm out and about, so they're aware of it. They understand that it's COVID. I mean, obviously not to the degree that we know, but shit, it's discussed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a new norm for them. So, I mean, they know, like, everywhere we go, like, mask on, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit. So obviously they didn't have it on for 8 hours a day, you know what I mean? Yeah. Obviously, but, my twins, they went to camp for a couple weeks before, like 3 weeks before school started. So they were familiar with it and, they still were kids and shit, still be under their nose and shit like that. But, you just gotta hope for the best, man. But at the same time, like, they had to go to school. I couldn't have them in the crib all day. Like, I couldn't. That shit was a lot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, for a year and a half. Yeah. Every day. Like, and trying to work and trying to have like some type of peace of mind and shit. Yeah. And also working from home. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Every day.
I know your wife has.
That shit was a lot. Yeah, for sure.
I know she is ecstatic that these kids.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool because like the house be empty and shit. Like, it's just like be quiet.
Oh, y'all doing it in the middle of the day and shit again?
Nah, we be chilling. I mean, it just started. You know what I'm saying?
No, we just chilling.
Today's Wednesday.
You like, we gotta get our energy back first and then we'll start doing that.
Nah, I just be fucking, time I get off fucking on my lunch and shit, I be like, shit, I just be wanting to break for a second.
Is your work day really like focused like that where you literally is working, taking a lunch break and working again?
I mean, I work from home, so.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking. Like, you like, I get a lunch break or whatever. I mean, I work from home as well. But if I'm not,
but I'm be busy as fuck, and I don't like being busy. Like, I don't like my work to falter. So between like my random social media breaks and shit, or bathroom breaks or something, like I try to stay diligent within the day's time because I get so many fucking emails. Like, I'm a professional emailer and shit, and like that's the majority of my job, and then so I have to like be on that because within those emails come a bunch of fucking things that I needed to do. And I hate, and then I be off and shit. Like, I'm taking off Friday, so I've been working my ass off all week because I had mad shit to do. You know what I'm saying? And we off Monday, so I don't know. I just be busy as fuck at work. You know what I mean? So it's getting better now that I ain't got no kids here and shit. Shit is like
next month. It's already next month. So it's the first, sure. As we're recording is the first. Tomorrow, bro, will make a month that I've been in my new job, and that is crazy.
Oh, yeah, like, congrats.
That shit went fast as shit. Thank you. And I'm pretty much struggling a little bit to kind of find that balance of working from home and with a new job. Like, with my old job, I knew what was up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew what I could slack on. I knew, you know what I mean? I knew if I had to do some shit in a rush, or I knew if I had time to fucking run errands all day and get to it when I get to it. You know what I'm saying? You kind of understand your rhythm of your job. And I don't, you know, with not only working at a new company, but having a much higher level of responsibility, bruh, I'm just like mentally drained by the end of the day. Like, it's a great job, great company. I'm not complaining, but I just need to kind of recalibrate myself, because I'm not going to be able to wake up at 8:30, 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be able to, you know, I rarely took a nap. Was more early pandemic, that I would just go fucking take a nap at lunch for like 2 hours or some shit. But, you know, I just really have to just kind of, again, recalibrate myself, bro. Like, it's so many emails. Like, it is so many emails. And I think, like, with my new role too, I'm CC'd on a lot of shit. Oh yeah. So when I tell you I got 240 emails right now, I have 240 emails. I could work all day, clear out about 60 of them hoes, and come right back to 240 emails by the time I finish. A lot of times I have meetings almost every morning, like different meetings, but meetings normally start at 9 o'clock, or sometimes they start at 8. My ass be rolling out the bed at fucking 8:40, going in there trying to, you know what I'm saying, get myself together. If I'm gonna shower right then, or I'm gonna wait till I shower, like get my shit together. And then like, I gotta get dressed from the waist up. So it's just like me being tough on me, like, dog, you gotta get together. You can't be doing this, because you're gonna feel like you're drowning. And I was going to go somewhere this weekend or whatever, since it was a long weekend or whatever, but I've decided to be an adult and kind of knock all this new shit out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a plan for 2022. Like, I got to plan all this shit. Like, bruh, even though I ran my last program, like manager level and director level is just two different things. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the manager level, I'm designing the program, but they still are very heavily involved with what they want to do, what they don't want to do, what they want to put resources towards, and what they don't. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. With this shit, they like, okay, Sean, what do we need to do? I'm like, shit, bro. Like, hey,
y'all should ask the director. I don't know. I'm going to defer to the director on this one. Like, what the fuck?
They was like, Sean, what do you think? I'm just like, bro, I don't even know how this company connects all the way. You know, like for me, like, I need to understand all of the pieces first. You know what I'm saying? It's a new industry, new company, 10 times bigger than my last company, literally. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a fucking lie. But I just say all that to say, you know, pray for a sister. And I have no fear that I won't accomplish what I need to accomplish, right? I'm that person. I'm gonna come through in a clutch. I ain't gonna let nothing fall. But it's about the stress that I'm gonna go through getting to that point because of either procrastination, low motivation. You know what I'm saying? So shit that, you know, you had fucking 3 weeks to do, you're doing it in 2 days. You know what I'm saying? And you stressing yourself the fuck out trying to get it done. And like a true procrastinator, once you get it done and you kill that shit, it's an adrenaline rush. And you pat yourself on the fucking back for working in the clutch and putting out some dope shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. When really, like, if I'm just like, yo, like, if you really would have just used the time on the front end, you would have saved yourself a lot of angst. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of anxiety and stress. And you may could have even put out an even doper product. But listen, if y'all like this and it's dope, that's what y'all paying me for. If this meets the criteria, I'll need to give extra.
If that shit ain't bad, then it's good.
Yeah, facts. Hey, have you had to recalibrate yourself at all, like for a new job, or because I know you've had a couple jobs in the, you know, 2-3 years or whatever. Didn't you start one of your jobs during the pandemic? It was right before?
Well, I mean, technically, not really. I started in January 2020.
Got you.
The job I'm at currently.
Got you. Okay.
I mean, shortly thereafter, the pandemic hit.
Got you.
But yeah, nah. I mean, yeah, absolutely. You know, you gotta get your sea legs. You know what I'm saying? It's like just hopping on a seaboat. You know, from land. You know what I mean? Yeah. You just gotta get your bearings. So that's how the game go with that. That's with anything though. You gotta get adjusted to it, and you know. Figure out what the lay of the land is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. And your type of role, is there a lot of kind of adjustment between the two companies? Cause you have your skill set and you know what you have to do, but is it more so like about process?
Yeah, it's stupid as fuck. And we don't have, and like the processes we have are dumb as fuck. Like, it's just stupid. Like, like I was hired to do claims and they had me doing all this fucking reporting and I don't do reporting. Like I've never had to do reporting and I don't do well. Not that I don't do well at it, but that's not my skill set.
Yeah, it's not your strong
Like I'm a claims nigga. I've been doing claims for like 11 years and y'all hired me to do claims and that's a small fraction of my position. But like they got all these fucking spreadsheets and shit. I hate fucking spreadsheets. Excel is fucking worse.
Listen, I hate spreadsheets with a bunch of cells in it. Like if I'm doing a short report, it got less than 100 items on it, I'm good. If it's like some infinite shit, count me the fuck out, bro.
Man, that shit is trash. I hate that shit. I hate that shit altogether because I do claims and I don't do fucking Excel. But I mean, you know, it is what it is. Certain things, I mean, you're never gonna like everything at a job. That's just me. I'm not anyway. Yeah. So, you know, but I can deal with it. You know what I mean? Like when I do, you know, certain things in terms of, you know, like claim stuff, I body it. It's just the other shit that I don't do as well.
What percentage of that is your job? Like the spreadsheet shit and the shit you don't like?
It's like a monthly thing.
Okay.
It's like a monthly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a monthly reporting thing. But like my day to day is I'm a auditor / fucking like claims adjuster, but I'm not an adjuster. It's not like I'm oversight, but we don't have, it's whack. Like, cause we don't have the autonomy that we should have in the positions that we're on. Cause we actually, it's like I'm a claims director in terms of the things that I have to like review and recommend and things like that, but I don't have the autonomy to approve and you know what I mean? Like to do the thing. So it's like, I'm kind of in the middle, like I'm a liaison and that shit is annoying because like y'all gonna do what y'all want to do anyway, but I gotta give my recommendations. Y'all just have to agree with it or disagree with it. And then it's a whole fucking shit. It's just stupid, but it's claims. Claims is trash. You know, like we do a whole bunch of shit in order to not pay money, but we end up paying the money. Shit annoys the fuck out of me.
Yeah. You know what? When it comes to like certain claims, not necessarily, you know, anything like that, but just like, I be thinking about this shit. I'm just like, y'all just pay a whole bunch of people a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
For no reason. Like y'all could have gave that money to the plaintiff and just cut that shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got lawyers involved, like, adjusters involved.
Shit is wild.
All these like, other highly paid people involved.
Yeah.
Wasting money on that side, on the administrative side. When y'all could have just cut your losses.
Defense costs be expensive than a motherfucker. And we just continue to spin our wheels. Like, or even if we don't even get to defense, like I had one, for example, this lady, it was a 3-car accident. It was a trucking program that we insure, my company insures. And since the pandemic's been open, motherfuckers has been tearing shit, slammed the fuck up. Do not ride or beside trucks if you can avoid it. Do not be, I fucking hate them shits because them shits is fucking time bombs. Like them bitches is fucking.
What you mean by like missiles. The tires blowing out or just not driving well because they
motherfuckers not driving
sleep
well,
deprivation or what?
Yeah, not even that necessarily. Just being like them shits is just big trucks. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot to man them shits. Like one dude, like this motherfucker was going like 80 miles an hour in West Virginia. He just plowed. Like he looked down to get a drink. And you know how you look down to get a drink in your car and you can almost hit somebody and, you know, obviously, or hit somebody or whatever and try to take evasive action. There's no taking evasive action. We're going 75 miles an hour on a fucking big rig. Like, man, that motherfucker tore up like 9 cars and I had the video. I'll send that shit to you. That shit was wicked. Like the shit was disturbing, but
wow. So
I got this one, for example, and it's not that one, but anyway, it's a lady. It's another big rig truck. We ended up hitting, rear ending the lady and plowing in the back of her, and then she ended up plowing into another vehicle, right? And this motherfucker she stayed in the hospital for, like, we got $1 million policy limit, right? I ain't gonna bore you too much, but we got $1 million policy limit. So basically meaning that the most we'll pay is whatever the limits are, which are $1 million, is what the person who buys the insurance is.
Yeah.
So we had $1 million policy limit. We end up rearing and tearing her vehicle up and the other dude's vehicle up who was in front of her. So she ended up she had a hospital stay for like 15 days because she was fucked up. She had a broken pelvis.
Damn.
She had a broken fibula. She had she had a broken orbital bone. Like her medical bills were just her hospital stay alone was like $200,000, right?
Yeah.
So I say all this to say I'm like,
and that's pretty cheap for 15 days keeping it in the band.
Yeah, for sure. That was just that, right? So she had Medicare or whatever, and then she had 45 days of in-home nursing care, right? So you already know what that was. Mm-hmm. Then the other dude, he had like a 4-day stay. I don't know what his bills are. But at this point, so I'm presenting all this information to my fucking boss, and they asking me all these fucking stupid ass questions and shit. Like, I'm like, yo, we need to put $1 million on reserves. They were like, how much are our specials? At the time, I didn't know because it hadn't been reported by the TPA, which is the claims people that do our claims for us. They hadn't been reported. But I'm like, what does it matter? Like, we're in fucking Florida. Florida is the worst place to have fucking accidents, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it's the hellhole of the city. I mean, of the country, and for more than one way.
It's like verdicts. It has the most accidents. They have the most.
No. It's just the worst verdict. So like, if you get a jury pool, like they'll give you like 10 times more than what the claims are worth. Like, especially in Miami. If you ever get hit in Miami or get in an accident, call me because we're gonna turn it up. But and that's anybody for listening, and I charge 10% of your fucking fee. But nah, for real, like that shit is it's just crazy. So, but like they asked me to do all this fucking like, you know, this and that, and this and that, and this, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, why? Like, we have, like, I just told you what the fuck is going on. This lady is fucking incapacitated for fucking 60 days since the accident, and then she got a shitload of fucking a litany of injuries. Like, I don't know. That shit was just stupid. And it happens more than, and it happens in claims. And that shit just annoys the fuck out of me because like now we fucking dilly dallying, even though we know that we finna pay $1 million. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what the fuck? Like, you're gonna pay the policy limits because you're not taking this shit to trial. Cause that shit's it's gonna cost $75,000 to defend the shit. Yeah. And we're on the fucking hook. Like, we're fucking at 100% at fault. So that shit was boring. I apologize to the listeners.
Does it make you, do you ever like question the either industry that you work for or your just employer in general because of practices?
Nah, that's just claims. That's insurance. Like, people don't want, like, you don't want to spend, that's how you stay profitable too. You don't want to spend all your money on claims. Like, you trying to save as much as possible. You know what I mean? So I get it. I understand.
So that. Put it into perspective for me, because you have way more people paying premiums than getting into accidents. So how are they really losing but so much money when you have motherfuckers who pay for decades and never fucking file a claim?
That's true, but you also have people that have multiple claims or a career, like, you know, you write terrible business, right? So you write a company like the trucking company who's had, over the past 3 months, I've had $10 million losses, right? So we're paying out $10 million, like within a fiscal year, right? Yeah. So yeah, you got premium and shit and you're making premium, but you got to remember, like, so you want to try to keep, for every dollar that you receive, you don't want to pay that bitch out. You see what I'm saying? Because obviously you want to...
Because you don't want to pay for the services that people have paid for. You trying to keep the profit.
That. You just don't... Yeah, for sure. It's a business, right?
Right.
So you gotta make a profit. Like, it's not a non-profit.
But I don't think it's you not making profit. You just want to make more profit than you make it. So you don't want to pay people
in order
claims.
To stay profitable, you can't pay what you've... If you receive $1, that's just any business though, right? So like, if you receive $1, if I give you $1 and you pay out $1, that's not profitable.
Right. But if I'm getting $100 and I'm paying out $1 and I might have to pay out $2 or $3, I still got fucking $97.
Yeah, but you got to have reserves. You're an insurance company, right? So you need to have reserves. You got to, like, cause there's fucking Hurricane Ida that blows through an fucking entire state. Yeah. And you have to play catastrophic claims. Like, so that, whereas you need to have reserves, you need to have fucking $100 million in the event that a whole fucking state is wiped the fuck out.
Right. So the way I process that is you knew the business that you were getting into. I understand that you have to have reserves and shit like that. I remember, the insurance company that we worked for had to have X amount of millions in the fucking bank in case of catastrophic events and shit like that. But at the end of the day, you're supposed to create a business model where you're actually doing what people pay for. Because if you're not doing what people pay for me, it seems like a scam.
Well, see, no. So it's not that, right? So it's not, I mean, you have coverages, right? So you have things that you sign up for. People have no idea what they're signing up for. That's just, unfortunately, the reality of it.
Right. And so it's strategically vague for that reason.
Sure. It's gray. Yep. Right. So it's very gray into the novice, to the untrained eye. Right. Like, it's like, all right, like people say they got full coverage. Yeah, you got full coverage, but you also have to pay, your deductibles, and you have a limit on your coverage, right? So like, if your car is worth if you have a liability claim just in a personal vehicle, right? So like, you got basic limits, right? And you're paying a monthly premium for these people to insure you, and you never use your policy and all that good shit, whatever. But that's not the way the insurance agreement is worded. Like, if you look in the very first 2-3 paragraphs of the fucking insurance agreement that you sign when you sign up for insurance, nobody reads that shit because nobody understands it, right?
Correct.
And nobody really gives a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I do.
I do.
I don't even read the shit. I don't even read my shit. I mean, because I know once in the event that I have to use it, then I'll be, well versed enough because I look at
I read my shit, but I still sign it, and I know they're getting over on me because it's like, what can you do? You gotta have it.
Yeah.
They've regulated it so that you gotta have it. So I can't say no.
But I mean, but you also opt for the coverage that you want too, right? So like, you want the basic policy limits of, the cheapest rate for insurance and liability. You're going to do that, right? You got a high ass deductible. You got a high ass fucking, you got a low ass limit. So you fucking get drunk and plow through 7 people and fuck everybody up, kill somebody, unfortunately, knock on wood, obviously. But like, so that's what it's there for. Insurance is it's a piece of shit game, but but it's, it is what it is. But at the same time, it can also be a fucking quick get rich quick scheme, depending on who hits you and when you get hit and how injury.
Scammers out here doing hit and runs all day, stopping. You know what I mean?
Not even hit and runs. It's all type of shit, slip and falls, all that shit.
Yep, slip and falls. Yep, for sure. I had
all that. It's mad shit, nigga. Like when that George Floyd hit, and I seen how much money everybody hit, like. And, they were doing all the fucking, the protests.
Yeah.
They were hitting fucking dispensaries, right? So I'm paying fucking millions and millions and millions of dollars out for fucking weed because people are insured. Also, I'm denying millions and millions and millions of dollars of fucking weed because they didn't have certain, things that are in place, but they signed the insurance agreement saying that they have a fucking safe that is 7 feet or 7 inches wide, and you know what I'm saying, like a certain parameters, like it's 6x6, and then it's concrete barrier, and it's got this and not that. We go in there and do the inspection. We find out that it doesn't. Right, so we find out it's all or nothing. So you might not have the right lock on that motherfucker, and we denying the coverage.
Do it be on like some technicality shit, like it was 3 inches and not 7 inches, and that voids the whole shit. Damn.
That's a fact.
Damn.
But you can also file a lawsuit, right? So like if you willing to play, you can always file a lawsuit with an insurance company, because 9 times out of 10, if you file a lawsuit against a property and casualty insurance company, some money's going to be paid.
Yeah.
Unless it's just like a frivolous ass lawsuit, like pieces of shit. Like I had this one dude, it's fucked up. Like I be saying all type of claims, but I'll keep this one brief. But like it really is fucked up because again, you have the people who are just paying their premiums and being good stewards of what they're doing and just paying for whatever, but they're a big ass truck. And this lady, it was a drunk driver, on a motorcycle who ended up, hitting this car, and it had a mom and 2, I don't know how hard he hit the shit. I don't know what the fuck happened, but he hit the mom, and it was 2 children in the backseat. Both of them died. The mom lived, right? The mom lived, right?
Crazy up.
So my insurer, who's a big rig, saw the accident happen, pulled, like he was right, like kind of like a first responder, like he was in traffic, kind of behind this whole thing, right? Mm-hmm. He just pulls over because he sees that this shit was crazy. And he's just being a good Samaritan and being nosy at the same time, but also just being a good person because this shit just like mad motherfuckers is fucked up in this shit, right? So somehow a fucking attorney gets involved, right? And representing the mom. He finds out on a police report because our person was a witness who drives a big rig, right? $1 million policy limits. The fucking bike doesn't have, but maybe 40 or 50, whatever the state limits are. 2 dead kids. He like, all right, we're going to try to get some money out of these motherfuckers. I have nothing. My insurer has nothing to do with this shit at all. He just was simply being nice and just trying to be helpful as much as he can, calling the police, being a witness, like saying what whoop de whoop happened, right? So these motherfuckers done brought this nigga into a lawsuit and we finna pay like just to get out the lawsuit. We about to pay like $25,000 just to get away from the shit because we gonna have to end up filing motions and doing fucking depositions and doing all this other fuck ass shit. And we like, boom, we just gonna give you $25,000 just to get the fuck out. And that shit is fucked up because he's mad, like he mad as hell. Like, bro, I ain't even do nothing. Like I was just being a good person, but because this fucking country and this shit is a capitalist society and everything is not, money isn't the root of all evil. It's the pursuit of money and the things that people will do and the links that they will go in order to get money. And, you know, you just gonna drag this motherfucker who's innocent and was trying to be helpful as much as possible.
Yeah.
Into it.
You know, I work in the legal department. I've worked in the legal department for probably about 15 years at different places or so, but I've been around attorneys and especially like attorneys who come from like law firms. So you have like in-house attorneys who act really different from like firm attorneys, right? It's just a whole different attitude, a whole different arrogance, you know. Listen, for you attorneys, no shade to attorneys. I have friends who are attorneys and it is a big accomplishment. However, you don't know every fucking thing. You just know the law. That's it. You specialize in the law. That's it. You're smart in the law. you're not a nigga who knows all and bees all. Like, no, that's not that.
You like an HVAC. You just an HVAC person.
Like, you have a specialty. We all have a specialty, right?
Yeah.
Your specialty. You
just like Shirley that do hair.
Right. Like, we all have a fucking specialty, right? But you know, these attorneys be thinking they walk on water and shit, especially firm attorneys. Shout out to in-house attorneys because they just a whole different vibe. But I've been having a lot of conversations about like my background and shit like that. Like I said, I started a new job. This is just part of the get to know you process and shit. But my mom told me I was going to be an attorney. You know what I'm saying? You let your parents tell you what you're going to do when you little. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of go with that until you figure otherwise. But, you know, I was pre-law undergrad and shit. And I was just like, now that I'm really like in the shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to take the LSATs and shit like that. I'm just like, man, lawyers kind of scammy and kind of scummy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, that's been the knock on fucking attorneys, especially plaintiffs attorneys. Cause like, you know, that's just, I mean, they're trying to get a buck. They're file a lawsuit just so they can get $25,000 from a fucking man that was trying to be a nice guy.
Exactly. You know and that's the thing. Like, it just really feels like, for a lot of legal professions or attorneys, like you're here to represent the person who hires you. And that's good, bad, or indifferent. So you're going to have to go along with whatever story or whatever lie or whatever your client is telling you. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you know this a lie. You know that this wrong. You know that going after this guy is fucked up. However, I understand deep pockets. That's usually how attorneys work. Whomever have the deepest pockets, that's who's getting sued. But like, do you ever have a problem like sleeping at night? You know what I mean? Knowing like we're not gonna even get into like just criminal shit where you know your fucking client is a fucking monster. In whatever way, shape, or form, they're a fucking monster. And you're trying to get them off or get them lesser so that they can go back into society, bro. Like, I literally heard a podcast where there were 2 lawyers who was defending a murderer and the murderer told them about 3 additional murders. And they went and saw the bodies and never told nobody about that shit, bro. Never told nobody about that shit. And then it was under, they got found out because the their murderer client said in court, like, oh yeah, and I killed these other people too. And they know. You know what I mean? Like, threw them way, like, under the bus and shit. Cause he was just a psychopath murderer type nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, serial killer type nigga. And
but that's under client, that's client privilege.
That was the debate. Privilege. Is it attorney-client privilege or does attorney-client privilege end at a certain point to fucking human decency? You know, it's 3 dead bodies. You know, it's people looking for their children. It's people looking for their family. You see decomposing dead ass bodies and you did nothing. I just feel like you should get locked up too. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, these motherfucking fake ass.
I guess during the case, no, just cause you have like, that's
because you could have called somebody. You know what I mean? Like, and you didn't even have to say it was your clients. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you could have anonymously called like, yo, I saw these bodies. Y'all might need to go out there. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you don't get paid more if you get this client off. You get paid the same amount. I mean, it goes towards your wins and losses. And shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, your scoreboard of being an attorney.
Yeah.
But come on, man. Like, I just feel like it's a certain line, but landing this plane is exactly why, like, one of the reasons why. And then, like, going to the company that I worked for previously, majority of their in-house attorneys came from an outside firm because their head attorney came from a firm and she pulled a whole bunch of people from her firm. So they kind of had that mentality of, yeah, I know the company wrong, but we not about to say nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not about to do nothing about it because that admits, that we had liability in the situation. That doesn't work for a work environment. You know what I'm saying? Like, in-house shit. Maybe if somebody from the outside is coming for us, but if shit going on in the inside, you can't just be like, yeah, I understand, B Hill, your manager fucked you over and wrote some fucked up shit on your performance review, and we can prove all of that. However, if we correct your shit, that means that we let this manager run amok, and we're not about to do that. So you're about to suffer. You're not about to get your bonus because you are underachieving employee. Your rating is a 1. So, and that's that. You know what I mean? So that fucks with me. Cause again, I'm ethics. I'm not legal. My job is a hybrid between what's legal and what's right. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's legal and what's right. Just because something is legal does not make something right. Correct. And that's the difference. But it is just crazy just going back to like insurance and shit like that because I was on the phone yesterday and I was getting a policy for a home that's in our family, and she running down like the deductibles and all that shit, and she said the deductible was $1,500. So I was just like, well, that's high. I was just like, how much is it for a $500 deductible? And she was like, oh, well, let me check. Nigga, it brought the premium up $3. She wasn't even going, if I wouldn't have asked the question, I would have a $1,500 deductible right now. Like, they don't try to, you know what I'm saying? Like, get you the best deal. They trying to get you off on the most light shit that they ain't gotta pay.
I don't know if I've never experienced that. Like, everybody, cause I mean, not even before I started working in insurance, like, they always try to give you like, cause I mean, the higher deductible traditionally is cheaper the premium, right? So like, but yeah, everybody I always dealt with, cause I just bought a new car and shit. So I've been like trying to get the best deal, and everybody like, giving me like cause I got good coverage, cause I know one, I've had a vehicle of mine wrecked and damn near almost had to come out of pocket. So I got the highest coverage, not the highest, but I got a lot of coverage. So, I've been shopping around and shit, but the people that, I've been dealing with, they've been pretty steadfast. You know what I mean? Pretty
That's
earnest.
good. That's good. But what you don't know, listen, 2 tips. 1, if you have a chance to get some money from a company in a legitimate way, get that shit because they got it. They got money. I don't care. You was fucked over at work.
It's illegitimate.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just saying for your karma, I don't know how you feel, but if you have some shit that go on at work or in general, and there is a business attached to it, sue their ass. I'm with it. I don't really have a lot of sympathy for like big business. You know what I'm saying? I do understand that certain shit filters on to the customer, but that's going to happen anyway. You might as well get your piece.
Motherfuckers be having insurance.
And then it's mandated. Most insurance is like mandated. Like a lot of insurance you gotta have where you look fucking, you out here living crazy, your health insurance, your car insurance. You gotta have that shit. You gotta have homeowners insurance and shit, especially if you got like an HOA.
Well, I'm saying these companies have insurance.
Yeah, facts. Big facts. These companies
got insurance.
Everything is insured. Everybody is insured. Fuck them. Get your money. Don't worry about that shit. Like, get it. Let me tell y'all something. A company is not gonna pat you on the back and make you happy because you did not sue them. Yeah, I know a friend that got electrocuted at work. Didn't sue nobody. Nigga, what? You crazy. You laid out. You went to the fucking hospital in an ambulance and you said, oh, they didn't mean it. Nigga, they didn't check that. All you was doing was plugging in your fucking computer and got electrocuted and had to go to the hospital in an ambulance. Oh, yeah. Nigga, I'm not working no more. At least for a couple years. You about to come up off of something. You about to come up off of something. And, you know, just ask questions. When you sign to some shit, ask the fucking questions, bro. Like, it's so much shit built into these policies and like shit like that. Just when I moved here and I did like my bedroom and living room furniture on 90 days, same as cash. You know what I'm saying? Bruh, it was so many caveats and bullshit built into that shit. It is made for the poor and the uneducated.
Oh yeah.
I'm asking fucking questions. She like, oh yeah, I guess you don't need that. Or I'm just like, what? So like, if you miss your payment by one day, your shit go up 400%.
Yep.
I don't do that. Was crazy. It's shit crazy. And I'm asking these questions. I'm like I shouldn't even did this shit. I mean, I was going to pay my shit. It's 90 days, same as cash. You know what I'm saying? I just wasn't trying to drop the whole thing at that time. Yeah. And I paid my shit, but I'm just like, for motherfuckers who not educated enough to ask questions. When I say educated, I'm not talking about like formal education. I'm just talking about the education of knowing what the fuck you signing up for and what you doing it for. Read your fucking shit and ask questions. Never be afraid to fucking ask questions, my nigga. Like, asking questions has got me into some of the best situations. And me and you signing up for the same thing, you getting a lame ass deal. And if you have a business, just have a lawyer read your shit. Pay a lawyer to fucking read your shit to make sure you got the coverages that you want to, you know, lawyers are the enemies, but you know what I'm saying? They can be the saviors as well, depending on how you use their ass, because their specialty is the law and deciphering the law and regulations. So I just say that, man, because if you don't ask these questions, bro, you will get over. It will help your pockets. You'll pay a lot less money. You'll know what you're getting into. You wouldn't be like sitting at your crib like, oh, I'll pay that shit tomorrow because I'm out here doing whatever. And now your shit 400%. Now you paying fucking $4,000 for a TV. No, man, don't do that, man.
Yeah.
What shows have you been watching?
I just finished, well, I mean, not just finished, but it was season finale of fucking Godfather Harlem just went off on Sunday, and that shit was amazing.
Don't tell me about it. I gotta watch it. I didn't even know it was back on. I think you told me, but it didn't come in my DVR.
You mean like the season, or just like because they had took a pause, like a station identification? Not really.
It's on Epics, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Because they did take a pause, right? Ain't this season 2? This is not season 2?
Yeah, this season 2, but they like cut it in half. Like it went off in May, and then like they, you know, they did. I don't know what happened, but they ended up just posting the last 4. Oh, so it went off in May. Like it was like a pause, season pause, and then last 4.
I gotta check it out. I'm not sure, but it, you know me. I always tell my story about my DVR, but I gotta go into Epics. I think that it is, maybe it's not a channel that I get, but it says I have access to it.
It's $5. It's $5. Just go and you can knock that shit out this weekend if you ain't doing shit. Shit is amazing. Bumpy Johnson is one of the greatest niggas of all like to ever do it in life. Like
last
this
season
motherfucker
was
took
good.
down the mob. So you ain't seen none of this season?
I haven't seen any of this season. I saw the last season.
You tripping.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of it. But you know what? I honestly, when I think about it, I've been really not available since my birthday. Like the weekend before my birthday, and then it seemed like every weekend was fucking filled, and then during the week it was work, this, other work, edibles. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm gonna watch that this weekend. I'm gonna watch that this weekend because I feel like that'll be a good one too. I can binge watch that because I'm already invested. And Wu coming back.
Yeah, nah, Bumpy Johnson is amazing, man. Like he should be celebrated way more than he is because like he literally took down the mob in the 50s, like single handedly. The smartest black man possibly ever to do it. Like one of the smartest businessmen to ever fucking do it. If that shit is any close to being true, and I know they got the movie Hoodlum, so it's still, you know, it's obviously some validity into it, but yeah. Bruh was he was cold. He was Malcolm A, like right hand and shit. That shit was well done. I'm really more intrigued about like the relationship that him and Malcolm had and if that shit is actually true.
Yeah. I saw that on the first season. That was the first season, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah, I'm like, I know I saw the first season.
Cause it's leading up to like the assassination. Like it's his disenchantment from the nation and shit. Mm-hmm. So like it shows you like it's interesting too because they painted like the first season they painted like that the writers and shit painted that the NOI basically killed him, right? But the way they do it this time is ill how they do it. That shit is fire. But yeah, that was dope. I've been watching Raising Kanan, which is really dope. The best part of Raising Kanan is the fucking fashion. That shit is amazing. I'm talking about like whoever the fucking stylist coordinator on the fucking set.
It's 80s, right? Or it's 90s?
Late 80s, early 90s. Yeah. So she deserves every fucking thing that they're like every award because that shit, the fashion is amazing. I'm talking about like period pieces, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's the polo rugbies and the North Faces and the fucking Helly Hansen and shit, like all that shit, like with the J's, like the J's to go like alongside it, like the 5s and the 6s and like felines. This shit is just dope, like super fucking dope. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, that shit is amazing. It had the dope cars, like all the cars. It looks just like, you know, that shit is being filmed today.
I feel like it gotta be so expensive to shoot anything that's a period piece.
Yeah.
It seems expensive. I mean, just like you said, the cars gotta match, the fashion's gotta match, the decor inside the set or the building or whatever you shooting from gotta match the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's different when you just pulling out a camera in 2021 shooting something that's in the last, 10 years or whatever.
Yeah. No, they body that shit. And it's a good story too. Like it's not as cheap. It's still, some bullshit acting here and there, but it ain't, it's good. I enjoy it. It's,
you like that better than, whatever the version is with Mary J. Blige in it?
I ain't watched that.
Oh. I saw a couple episodes there. I always watch it with other people. So I've seen a couple episodes of Raising Kanan. I've also seen whatever the other of this Power universe that has happened. But I mean, both of them look pretty okay, but I don't know the backstories. I've never watched Power, so that's that.
You could watch Kanan without watching Power. Like Kanan, it's the beginning of Kanan. Kanan was 50 Cent's character in Power, and he was just like a goon type shit. But
it don't have no references from.
Nah.
Okay.
Not at all.
Is it worth watching? Yeah. I haven't really heard nobody but you talk about that one.
That shit dope. That shit super dope. All my niggas watch that shit. That shit fire.
Do you remember Steph Jones from DTP?
Absolutely. I know him well. He's D-Ray's brother? D-Ray the comedian?
They're best friends, but.
Oh, well, they used to say they were brothers, but
they best friends. But, I thought about you because I've been watching.
Steph Jones was a weirdo. That nigga used to wear, we was at opera one night and they had like the light up shoes and shit, like the little kid light up shoes.
I can imagine.
Oh, this nigga is a square bear. Go.
So I've been watching one of a great show is My True Crime Story, narrated by Remy Ma. and it's on BET. It's actually a really good show, and it kind of takes these individuals who had some amount of fame or viral or something, where it kind of gives them almost kind of like that celebrity quality, and talk about they fucking crimes and shit. And and Remy Ma does, the show is really, really good because it gives you about the crime, but it also gives like backstories behind shit, like how the prison system work and how homelessness work. It's kind of like, and this is why shit work like this, or this is why, you know what I'm saying, the system's set up this way, or this is why they don't want to do prison reform, but they do it in other countries. You know, so she gives like that backstory that I feel like a lot of the crime shows don't give, and like the systemic issues that kind of cause these people to commit these crimes. So the last episode, Steph was on there. I didn't know this nigga went to fucking prison for 3 years.
Word.
This nigga so at the height of this nigga modeling, so he was a model at first, right? Mm-hmm. He was a model in the like early 2000s and shit. He was a model, nice looking guy for what his job was. And his ass was going to fucking France. He was supposed to be modeling and shit. This nigga was fucking being a mule.
I want to say I heard that, man.
Bruh, he was
I'm not surprised by this. So I think I must have heard it. I mean, cause like he was signed, like I know niggas, my homeboys were signed to DTP.
Right.
So,
and that's why I thought about you, your homeboy Small World and shit. I know that was kind of your era and shit.
Yeah. I know Steph. I done been around Steph mad times. That's crazy. I want to say I remember that, but again, my memory sucks. So.
And this nigga is not nowhere near no gangster, nowhere near no nothing. You know what I'm saying? And, this nigga did 3 years in a French prison, my nigga. They didn't give that nigga his first phone call until after a year.
Dang.
Bro, he was in that shit for like 2.5 fucking 3 years. I was like, yo, that is just like crazy because anybody can get caught up. He was just like, he saw the money. He saw niggas getting it like in a different way over there. So this nigga thought he was just gonna be driving cars. He had smuggled some shit on a flight in his fucking, by his dick. Like, he had did a rack of shit. I was like, yo, I wonder if FBL know about this shit. Like, I was like, Steph Jones. I want to say I did,
but not to that extent.
He was going by Garen Jones. And I was just like, something about this nigga looked familiar, but I don't really know like why he looked familiar to me. And then D-Ray came on. And cause D-Ray was part of the people who was trying to get Steph out and paying all his money and shit like that. And D-Ray actually got Steph the record deal. He said with DTP. So he went to prison prior to getting this record deal.
Maybe. I don't remember, man.
The way they told the
because he got the deal, like he had the deal, like in this was shit. I was like, I was definitely at Blue Cross. So I was like, that shit was like 03, 04, because them niggas was on like 03, 04, 05 type shit.
Yeah,
I want to say.
Yeah. And then I was just like, then D-Ray started calling him Steph, and then he was like, yeah, Steph Jones and Garen is the same person. I was like, I know a Steph Jones now. Like, I know Steph Jones. Like, I didn't know who Garen Jones was. But I was like, I know who the fuck Steph Jones is. So I had to fucking Google that shit right quick. And I saw him from 20 years ago, pretty much. I was like, now, all like, now he looked like the nigga I remember, you know what I'm saying? Versus this nigga with the dreads and shit like that. He married to a white chick.
I mean, that's on brand.
Yeah, he like, I don't know, like he do like motivational speeches and shit like that and try to, do shit like prison reform and, seem like a super, super fucking positive dude.
He ain't modeling and shit no more?
Nah, he didn't say nothing about modeling. His hairline is receding and he's fucking 20 years older. So he definitely don't look like 20 years ago. He's not a bad looking dude. He's just not, you might have saw that nigga from 20 years ago, but like, oh, okay, he could be a model. This dude just look like a dude. You know what I mean? Like he just look like a nigga, like a regular nigga.
Gotcha.
A regular, nigga with dreads with a white woman. People people with dreads always have a white woman.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they always have a white woman. But however, if you like crime shit, true crime shit, that show is pretty dope, and I think it is a good little niche for Remy Ma, with her having experience in the shit and crime and being locked up and all that shit. She gives very good like commentary and narration to the story. And when I can support a BET project, I definitely try to, because they be hit or miss for real.
I like the what come on BET that I like that shit with Jill Scott and them.
The First Wives Club.
Man, that shit is good.
Bro, I watched like the first 3 episodes. Granted, I was a little distracted, but it couldn't hold me. But I said I was gonna go back and
that shit fun.
Try to watch
good.
it.
I think you would like it. That shit good as hell. I watched both seasons. I had this. My old lady was watching that shit, and I just sat down and started realizing, like, damn, shit is pretty good.
Yeah, I gotta get into
the big light skinned girl. Funny, man. She funny as hell.
She's a comedian, Michelle Buteau or Buteau.
Yeah,
she's a comedian. She's hella funny. Like, she's been funny for a very long time. I think that was a good mix as well. Before you get into your black facts, I just want to give a shout out to Ashanti. I just felt that in my spirit. Ashanti has been looking great. Not that she has ever not looked great, but I just feel like when you get in a 40+ club and you looking like that, you deserve a shout out. So, shout out to Ashanti. And shout out to fucking your boy, Fat fucking Joe. He is hilarious when he goes viral. I can't watch a whole Fat Joe show, but I definitely love when he goes viral. That nigga was wasted and fucking like when you at that line where you don't, this your friend or somebody that's like your sister, but you just like, damn. Like that's how Fat Joe was. Like, I know this sis, but I would have took her down. Like,
yeah, she bad. I mean, she come out that motherfucker looking like that. You ain't got no choice.
All the time. I follow Ashanti though, and Ashanti always look good. Like, always look good. So shout out to Ashanti. Shout out to all the 40+-year-old women that's out here applying pressure to these 21-year-olds for sure. Aging now is way different than our mama in them days. Like,
that's a fact.
For fucking sure. But let's get into Skibbity-bee-bop, B's Black Facts. You know what your shit, y'all?
I stumbled on this one today, and of course had never heard anything about it, but the Martinsville 7 were black men who were executed 70 years ago for rape of a white woman. And they were posthumously pardoned on Tuesday,
Thanks, appreciate
August 31st, by Virginia's governor, who said that the group known as the Martinsville 7 was denied due process because of their race. In a meeting with the descendants of several of the men in Richmond, Virginia, Governor Ralph Northam, I think is how you say it, said that the men were found guilty by an all-white juries of raping women in 1949 in Martinsville, which is in Southern Virginia, and were sentenced to death within 8 days.
Is it near Charlottesville? Virginia's fucked up, but go ahead.
Nah, it's Southern Virginia, so I don't think Charlottesville is in Southern Virginia, but I don't know. But the sentencing touched off protests well beyond Virginia, by demonstrators in Washington and Harlem, which urged President Harry Truman to halt the executions. The president would not get involved, and the governor of the Virginia at the time denied a last-minute plea for stay. The men were executed in 1951. So yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to those black men because, they were victims of circumstance, unfortunately, and the victim of the time. So, but I guess, like I said, if nothing else, this governor here is okay. I mean, from the things that I've seen, like he gave Juneteenth he made it a state holiday, did this.
Who's the governor of Virginia?
Hold on. His name is Ralph Northam. He legalized bud. Hey,
wait,
ain't too bad.
Drugs legal in Virginia?
Yeah.
Since when?
July 1st.
Wow. Didn't know that. That's the shit we need to know right there. Virginia's legal in Virginia, legal in DC. I think Maryland decriminalizing. That's what's up. Oh yeah, we got to start making some money out here in these legal places.
Yeah,
that's what's up. That's what's up. Another, set of black men under fucked up circumstances and, a posthumous pardon. I don't know exactly what that does for their families, but
they were there. There was some type of closure, not closure, but they had like people that were fucking, high 80s and 90s and shit in that motherfucker.
Damn.
To them, so.
Nice.
I saw the shit on the CNN and shit. Like that shit happened in the 50s. So you gotta think like that shit, it happened in 51. So that's 70 years ago. My pop's 70. You know what I'm saying? Like he was born in 51. So
yeah,
people still alive for this shit.
Before we move on, I just want to, just give, prayers and shit to everybody in Louisiana. Ida came through. Crazy. All your people's good?
Yeah, my, majority of my family lives in Baton Rouge. I got one brother that lives in Prairieville, which is in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. So I don't have any family that I know of, in New Orleans, but my brother's house was affected significantly. Well, that's not true. I don't know. He said initially, I texted him and shit. I was calling on my family. I was nervous as fuck that day, obviously. Saying that it was going to be a category 5 and shit, but it ended up turning like right after it went past, New Orleans and shit. It turned before it got to Baton Rouge. So Baton Rouge they didn't even really get a whole lot of rain. They just got like a lot of winds. So they got some property damage and trees and power lines and shit were out, but they ain't fucked up nowhere near as bad as, cause it turned east right at New Orleans and shit. So, New Orleans obviously is fucked up and things going towards the right are pretty fucked up as well. But yeah, my family is straight. I ain't talked to my brother in a couple of days, so I don't know if he was the one. He texted me like, "Oh, this shit's scary as fuck. It's getting like worse by the second."
He don't ever talk about moving?
Nah.
Why is that? Why people who live in these places that be like real, like life or death getting fucked up? Like I know a lot of people who were refugees from Katrina, just never like went back or whatever the case may be. Like I asked my boss, he's from Louisiana or whatever, and I kind of asked him the same question, like, why do people stay? You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was just like, I don't know. He was like, I left a long time ago. He was just like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Why people stay.
I mean, people's families there, right? So like people's families there, they like their grandmas and great grandmas and shit. Like they just got a lineage there. Like, so, I mean, I get it, certainly understandably moving, but at the same time, like that's all you know and that's all you accustomed to. Like it's kind of hard to just uproot, especially when you got, 3 or 4 brothers and sisters here and then, you got a grandma and, like, so it ain't just that easy.
I mean, I understand that I might be built a little different from people who are that attached to one place. However, if my life is in danger on, too much of a regular basis, yeah, grandma, y'all trying to go or I can come visit y'all. Like, it's different when you don't have the means, maybe.
Yeah, that's another thing.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have the means, but it's, I just, I don't get it.
Louisiana's just ugly though. Like, I couldn't live there. Like, it's just nothing. Like, that shit, it's cool to visit and shit, but like, that shit is not a pretty state. Like, it's just not.
Yeah.
They
got good food. They got great culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, it's a vibe, but it's not enough to stay there.
But nah. Fuck that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, grandma, we all out. Like, even if it's just moving, a little further inland to in the state or something like that, man. Like, I can't imagine seeing all this fucking water coming out. First of all, I can't swim, people. That's the first thing to know about that. And the second thing to know about that, it doesn't matter if you can swim, if you got motherfucking flooding and rushing waters and all this shit coming. Like, it seems so fucking scary. Like, it's such a scary thing. And don't help that we got a million other scary things going on at the same time. And prayers to those people, you know, that is dealing with this. Whether it is the conspiracy theories of the property that they just still trying to get motherfuckers out, so that they can get this land and like shit like that. But just be careful, cause I'm scared from here. So I can't even imagine what it feels like to be in that type of situation, bro. Like, breaks my heart that somebody grandparents in that shit. You know what I mean? Like, your grandparents can't get to the roof. They can't get, you know what I mean? They can't get nowhere. Like, it's a sad situation, man. They talking about they won't get power for like 3 weeks. Like, how y'all not equipped by now, bro? Like, why y'all not putting no money into this state to get them equipped?
Yeah, but I mean, it's still like when shit is just knocked the fuck over. Like, it's not like you have to put power lines and power poles up. Like, you can't, it's not just as simple as, you know what I mean? Like, that shit is an elaborate process. Like, you have to hang.
I get you, but we're like, okay, this storm is coming. We running out of generators. We running out of this. We running out of that.
It just came. Like, I didn't hear nothing about it. Like, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, we got a Category 3 hurricane on the fucking coast of New Orleans. I'm like, what the fuck? When? Like, when did that shit come?
I ain't know shit about it either, but I wasn't really plugged in at that time in which it was being talked about. But I was just like, yo, where this fucking rain coming from? Like, oh yeah, this shit that went down. Like, Ida come in, like, da 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 da. I'm like, what? Like, I ain't even know nothing about it either, be for real. Prayers to those people.
Nobody did though. That's the thing. Like, my family in Louisiana was like, nah, they ain't no shit about it. Like, that's.
I mean, people was evacuated. They definitely got a damn joint saying you need to evacuate. Cause
yeah, that was like on a Friday, and like the shit hit on Sunday.
Yeah. That's my other thing. When you living in a place like that, you gotta be ready to go. Like, if you gonna stay there, you gotta prepare somehow, B. Like, this, you gotta I mean,
they
prepare.
Prepared. They hunkered down. Like, all my family that I was talking to in Louisiana, like, they was preparing, they was getting everything, you know what I'm saying? Hunkered, like, boarding up the windows and shit, cutting trees. Like, my cousin was, like, my cousin bought my grandma's house and shit, and it's a bunch of trees and shit over there, so he ended up cutting them bitches and shit. And he was over there, you know, preparing. Cause I had called him. Like, I was calling everybody, you know, Saturday and shit like that. And they all like, ain't nobody answer the phone there. And so that shit had me worried. Mm-hmm. And then everybody hit me back, you know, kind of sporadically and shit. Yeah. Was like, yeah, we're just getting prepared.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, hurricanes come here. Like, hurricanes come to North Carolina all the time.
Hurricanes come to North Carolina, but it's not just a thing that happens all the time. Like, or if you live on the coast, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's something you signed the fuck up for. You signed up for a hurricane.
Live on the coast. New Orleans is on the coast.
That's what I'm saying. But that New Orleans constantly have catastrophic, deathly fucking hurricanes.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't no light shit where you can just be in the crib and put some board over and chill out.
But they ain't had one since Katrina though. Like, they didn't have mad hurricanes, but nothing like catastrophic. Like, all them shit, like Houston got fucked up.
Yes, like, Houston got fucked up last year.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was the year before last, but yeah.
No, it was last year because I was the shit flooded. The shit flooded the next week or the week before. I was in Houston last year in March when COVID went down.
Yeah, that wasn't a hurricane though. Hurricanes happen around this time.
When did Houston get flooded? What did Houston get flooded for then? What was it?
Well, they had, I don't know. They get flooded. You can piss too hard in Houston and that shit floods. Like, it's super flat out there, so you can't, like, they don't. And
know. I said that I would move to, Houston or Dallas if I moved anywhere else. Like,
Dallas is higher in elevation. Houston is lower. Like, Dallas is north of, you know, like, it's mid. Texas is such a huge state, but it's like mid north. So it doesn't get as flooded as, say, like, it's in a higher plane. Like, Louisiana and Texas, that part, like southern Texas and shit, that shit is flat. Like, that shit has no hills, no nothing like that. You know what I mean? So, like, that's why, like, that's another reason that shit floods so bad. Cause, like, I remember being in Louisiana and shit at my sister's house, and they get a hard rain, like one of the rains that we get. And boy, that shit, you can't even walk in the backyard. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is whack. Like, that shit is super whack.
I feel like weather-wise, like, in totality, I feel like Atlanta is in a pretty good spot. Now, take it, they can't handle it when some fucking snow or some shit happen. But that was before my time of actually getting here. But nothing really too bad happens. This is like no like extreme weather that is a regular thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you had some freak shit, but like I said, I think I said on the last episode, like it's just been crazy because it literally rains every day. It rains once a day, at least every single day for like the past 6 weeks to 2 months, 6 to 8 weeks. Like it rains every single day. It's so fucking weird. Like whoever up there playing with the weather machine, like stop. I don't think it's God. I think it's our military and our government. But what can we do? Let's get into some litter shit though. Litter shit is our pop culture segment where we talk about all the fuck shit on your timelines. B, are you drinking anything today? Are you off bud? What are you doing to get into this fuckery?
I had a beer earlier, smoked a little weed.
Smoked a little bud. I am drinking and pineapple cider. You know, keeping it light. I did a lot this weekend, so I'm down. But let's get into your guys' album dropped. Donda dropped. 27 songs. Which sparked Kanye kind of versus everybody. It came out on a Sunday. This album that we talked about on the last show. If y'all have had time to listen to the last show, which was late, so y'all should be able to hear. Y'all can hear that. Then listen to this. But after 2-3 Mercedes-Benz album drops in the stadium, the album drops on a Sunday. Kanye alleges that his album was leaked. DJ Envy calls Kanye a clown and his circle of friends a clown. Say Kanye out here doing dumb shit and nobody is wrangling him. Chris Brown threw some shots at Kanye, talking mad shit about Kanye because Chris Brown was left off the album. I guess he was supposed to be on the album. And then you got your boy Big Draco, Soulja Boy, who is just comedy at this point in time. Been going at fucking Kanye and multiple tweets. I'm sure it's 50% concern, 50% clout chasing that he got going on. A whole bunch of shit he had to say about Kanye. He was left off the album and XYZ, and it sparked a bunch of memes that said, you know, hey, I was left off the Kanye album as well. I know you were anticipating this. Did you listen to it?
I did.
How was it for you?
When I listened to it on my phone on Sunday because somebody texted and told me it was out, so I listened to it when I woke up, shortly after I woke up, I think. And it was long, of course. It was cool, right, on my phone, but then I listened to it yesterday. I was driving and that bitch was fucking jamming. Boy, I ain't even gonna lie. That shit is dope. That shit is fucking dope. Like, you
are literally the only person who has said that to me.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you are literally the only person I want to say in the world, because social media was shitting on that shit too. I went through like 10 songs and I kind of listened to the first couple and then like probably went through like a verse into the hook and then I just skipped through. And then after like the 10th song, it just got monotonous for me. I didn't like it. It was not good. I wasn't expecting it to be good though. I didn't like the clips from the show and shit. It was just a lot of bullshit. Like, I didn't fuck with it. I didn't like the beats, but again, I didn't go through 27 songs. It might got good on song 12. It just wasn't, it just wasn't, what do you feel like Kanye is back? Cause you didn't like the previous albums, right? After Life After Pablo.
I ain't listening to shit after Life is Pablo. I did some of the, what was the one with the, Blood on the Leaves and shit? I listened to that. Yeezus, was that Yeezus?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
That was, yeah. So after Yeezus, I ain't listened to shit since then.
Yes. And I think that Blood on the Leaves song was like the only good song on that shit too.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, he had like 3 songs on there that was jamming. Like New Slaves was dope, Blood on the Leaves, and then Bound shit when he had fucking Kim on the back.
Yeah.
That shit was fire. But nah, I mean, I hadn't listened to his Kids See Ghosts, Jesus is King, and whatever, like the last 3 or 4 albums that he had, I ain't listened to him. Just cause I was on some fuck Kanye shit. Not that I'm not on some fuck Kanye shit, he's a fucking weirdo and like gets on my nerves. But I just wanted to listen to it because I wanted to see where he was. Like, I just want to see where he was musically. And that shit, like, to me, that shit is dope to me. Like I said,
what
it
do you
wasn't
think
like
other
terrible.
people is not seeing that you're seeing? Like,
I don't know. I can't call it. It just sounds good. Like the beats be hitting. All the features are very well placed. Kanye does that very well. Like he gets his features and uses them in the right spot. It's just, like that shit touched me. Like, I don't know, like some of that shit, because it's for what it's worth, it's like gospel music, but it's like a whole different genre. Like it's gospel music, that's what he calls it. But it's like, I don't know, that shit, I don't know, like a lot of that shit was touching me. I ain't gonna lie. Like the shit with, Lord, I Need You Now. I can't remember now one of the names, but I like the shit with Lil Baby on it. That shit is fire. I like the shit with Thug, Remote Control. That shit fire. I like the Going to Jail Tonight shit. I don't like whole verse though. I like Baby verse.
That whole verse was so forced. It wasn't Ho's best work either. I feel like he did the best he could with the beat he had.
That shit was fire.
It sounded like in the couple songs that I listened to, one thing that I don't like about Kanye, and more recent Kanye versus vintage Kanye is that I feel like I'm not an engineer. However, I don't like when the beat and the artist is at the same level and it sounds like they're competing. Like the artist should be over the beat and ride the beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it sounds like noise. It's like a line between when music starts to just sound like chaos and noise. And that's kind of what I got with like a couple of those. Like you said, that J Electronica, I couldn't even really process it. It was a racket. It would sound like racket.
That shit, I love that shit. Hurricane, I like that. I like the shit with J Electronica, and I like the one, cause the part 2 with the locks is on that shit. Keep My Spirit Alive is crazy. Moon is fucking crazy. So I like a lot of this.
Is it something that you feel like, has replay value for you? Like you're gonna play that shit over and over again, or are you just being a contrarian?
Yeah, that shit fire. I enjoy it. That shit is dope. Like, that shit is good music. Me and my old lady would listen to that shit like, yo. But me, like, my wife loves Kanye. That's one of her favorite artists ever. So, cause she was in there listening to a bunch of his old shit. But we listened to it, yesterday we was riding the shit and she like, this shit kind of dope. And I was like, yeah, this shit is. Cause we were listening to it when I woke up Sunday, cause I ain't have my kids. So we was just like bullshitting around or whatever and listening to bed and shit. And I had it like on a Bluetooth speaker. I got a Bluetooth speaker in my bathroom and it was alright. But like when I got that shit, I love listening to music in the car personally. Like that shit is just the best shit ever for me personally, especially, with some good speakers and shit. But we were riding around yesterday and like the shit, that shit just was bumping, man. Like the features was dope. Like that shit fire. The production is amazing. Like all the beats is dope. It's not a whack beat. I think, yeah. I mean, I can't say all of them.
Oh wow. I heard a lot of whack beats, bro. Like we just got
Did you listen to it like in the car?
No, I'm not listening to it in the car. Like that ain't my jam. I listen to my shit in the headphones, bro. Like that's how I get my good shit. I listen to my shit in the headphones. You
can't get the production out the headphones.
You crazy if you got good headphones? I mean, you probably got a dope ass car system that you feel like your music is super dope.
Good in the car. I've always liked listening to music in the car though. Like that shit just like, cause I can vibe and just listen to like what they saying and shit. That shit fire, man. The shit with Westside Gunn and them. And I only like Westside. That shit was well done. Damn, the shit with Travis Scott was fire. That shit, man, that shit.
So is Kanye back? Is Kanye back?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, he about to do fucking 400,000 or some shit. I would say so.
Interesting. I think that is super wild that Kanye always breaks all of these records that nobody else can validate. Like, nobody else validates all of these billions. It's just like, oh, Kanye said he has this. Oh, Kanye said he broke this record for this. And it's just like, all right, where the validation at? Where the Price Waterhouse Cooper?
But they got his sales projection to be 350 to 400.
I mean, but if you got 27 songs, it's a numbers game. I get it. And I'm sure everybody listened to it to get it. All I could go by is what I heard, what people heard, and then just what the internet is saying just as a whole. And it definitely not something that people have been saying good shit about.
I love this shit. And I think I'm looking at some of this shit.
I think that it's very interesting how upset your DJ Envy's and your Chris Browns and your Soulja Boys and everybody else who got fucked up shit to say about Kanye right now. This is the shit that set them off. This is the shit that set them off about Kanye. Not all the other fuck shit Kanye has done. Like, not Kanye literally trying to fucking ruin the world with his perceived celebrity. Like, they mad because they got left off the fucking Kanye album. Now he a clown. Now he a dumb nigga. Now he a lame. Now y'all want to fight this nigga. Y'all want to fight him now? Why? This will set y'all off. It's just interesting, the tolerance of people, and people are good with shit until it happens to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kanye been a fucking weirdo. Like, Kanye been doing fuck shit. Kanye been making trash ass music. Now his music trash, everybody. Like, people funny. People just funny. People just
I guess
funny.
In terms of those things, if I think all each point, like Chris Brown, he said he was a lame because he took a song off and he didn't like tell him, probably didn't do the proper communication. I don't know.
Right.
That was one, like, that was specific to him. And then Soulja Boy obviously had his own grievances because it was specific to him. The Envy shit, I'm sure was some shit behind the scenes that was done that was maybe specific to him. So, I've heard Envy talk about it, especially on, the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne and them, especially when he was doing all that lame ass MAGA shit. I remember him, talking about that shit then. So
I was surprised about Envy because Envy is normally a kiss ass, in my opinion. Like, Envy is normally a kiss ass to everybody. Like, usually if some shit gonna be said, it's gonna be Charlamagne or Angela. He's usually like, oh yeah, I want to be cool. I want to be down. Like, yeah, this guy's cool. Yeah, he's the best. Yeah, that's fire. But when Envy was going on, I was like, oh shit, Kanye made fucking Envy mad. Like, Envy was stood in his shit. Like, yeah, some people call me like my apologies for this and that, but Kanye's still a clown. Like, he's still a fucking clown, which I agree 1000%. Kanye been a clown to me. I'm still on some fucking
no doubt.
Kanye shit.
He's definitely a lame. I just enjoy the music. The music is dope. Like, the music for me, cause I had low expectations. I really didn't have any expectations because I never like listened to any of the fucking music that was coming out of the shows and shit, just cause audibly, it wasn't pleasing. Like, I couldn't hear it through my phone and shit. I was like, I'll just wait. Because I won't like press for that shit to come out. When it came out, it was when it came out. And when it came out, I was gonna listen, obviously, cause that's what I did. But I didn't really have any expectations, you know what I'm saying? And then I saw like, cause the first one was weird. He had that Donda chant. I was like, oh, this nigga on some weirdo shit.
Facts.
And then,
and they said it was supposed to be like his mama heartbeat or something like that. His mama last heartbeat or something like that. I was just weird. Like, yeah, sentiment don't make it fire.
Jamming, boy, that shit got the jamming. And I put it on in the car and I ain't listened to the whole shit. But like the shit that I heard, like where it picked up from, I was like, damn, this shit jamming. Like, this motherfucker hard. And then, like, he had the part twos and the part ones and shit. So the part two come back around so you can kind of hear it again. And they got the additional verses and shit.
Did he need 27 songs?
Nah, hell no.
If you could have drilled it down, what would have been just good songs, not what you deem to be a good amount of songs on the album, but you listen to 27 songs. How many songs should he have kept it to by the ones you felt like was the most
I need to listen
fire?
to it again just cause like I ain't listened to it all the way through in the car. So like it's certain songs, there was one with like Fabio Foreign that I didn't like on my phone, but then once I heard it in my car, like, damn, this shit kind of jammed.
And I kind of like Fabio Foreign too. Weirdly.
Yeah, like, I didn't. That's one reason I got rid of it. I was like, I don't really feel that nigga. But he actually got, his verse is amazing. Like, I was taken back, like, damn, cause I listened to it in the car. Cause like the first like 4 to 6 bars didn't really move me. I was like, here you go with that weirdo shit again. And like, cause I just don't like the way he rap. But then once, like I heard it cause I was on the phone or some shit, and you know how like, you know, you distract. That's why I like being in the music and listening to music in the car, cause that's the best time for me to listen to it. Cause like, it's while it's in the background and you just pick up on something that like sparks your interest. And that I was like, damn, this shit hard. And then I forgot who else on that song, but it was actually dope. You know what I'm saying? I was like, well shit, I'm gonna give it a whole listen. I don't know when I'm gonna be in the car for 2 hours, anytime soon, but
that's a road trip album.
Yeah, so for sure.
That is a road trip album. I really thought it was gonna be dope if, Drake and Kanye dropped on the same day.
Well, it's over for Kanye Friday. So
yeah, for sure. I think it's over for Kanye now. I think that majority of people have had their one listen. So he'll get his this week's, he'll get his, you know, his numbers for this week. It was reminiscent of when Kanye went up against 50 Cent. When they dropped on the same day. And Kanye kind of smashed 50. If Drake and Kanye came out on the same day, Kanye really didn't want that type smoke. Not in 2021.
No, not at all.
Not in 2021. Not with Drake. And I'm not even hype about the Drake album. Because I am, cause like, it ain't no singles or nothing. That's what I'm excited. I'm like, damn, it ain't no single. I hope he don't put like, I know he will for streaming purposes. He definitely gonna put all them singles that he released over the past, you know, whatever year and a half or whatever. But those will be at the tail end of the album just for streaming purposes. But I'm interested to hear what he got, cause like Drake shit be jumping, man. Like, and it's crazy cause I've been going back to like the Drake shit, and like a lot of this shit, I'm like, yo, this shit aged very well. Like this, like a lot of that shit from Views from the Six and, that tell a nigga back. Yeah, facts.
That shit is.
Listen, my shit I love from Drake. I love from Drake. You know, I love the Drake that I love. You know what I mean? Like, Drake is a rapping ass nigga, and I love Drake. But you know, I don't like that Drake singing shit. And I just feel like this Certified Lover Boy is about to be a whole lot of auto-tune and him fucking doing his depressing ass, lame ass singing that y'all love. I hate that we keep letting these rappers sing all day, bro. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. He been singing
from the beginning though. Yeah, like he ain't been doing nothing that he ain't been doing.
I mean, but it's still, again, this is strictly my opinion because Drake gonna sell. Drake, people fucking love Drake singing. It's just not my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy because Nicki and Drake are in my top 5, and I never really anticipate their albums because I already know it's gonna be like half shit I don't want to listen to, and then half fire. You know what I'm saying? So I just gotta take what I can get from what I like about them. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna listen to it, of course. I'm definitely gonna listen to it. And then I'm gonna do what I do with all Drake albums. I'm gonna take out the motherfucking joints I really like, put it in a separate playlist, and leave them other shits to the side, bro. Like, I'm cool. Like, I'm gonna listen to it. I hope it's a couple slower Drake songs that I like Hotline Bling and other shit like that. But like Marvin's Room, never like that shit. Like, stop letting niggas sing, bro. Like, this nigga can't sing. Like, we keep letting this nigga sing, bro.
Fire. I love Marvin's Room. Shit was fire. Drake, my nigga.
I fuck with Drake. I love corny cool. Like, I was thinking about, when I was watching Wildin' Out, I was watching Wildin' Out for a second earlier today while I was eating this shit. Look for something quick I could watch while I was eating this shit. And, I think it's time for Wildin' Out to be over. You watch Wildin' Out?
I ain't watched it since they've been back.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same shit. It's kind of like it's been done to death. You know what I'm saying? They playing the same games, pick up and kill it, you know, whatever. But I said the same thing about Nick Cannon or whatever. I was like, I think about Nick Cannon, I think about Drake. Like, niggas that's hella rich, got hella bitches, but hella corny. Yeah. Like, both of them are super fucking corny to me. But I like the fact that they don't try not to be corny. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like with both of them, I respect people who just embrace who the fuck they are. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
And I feel like that about, I feel like that about the both of them. I feel like that about the both of them. Kanye posted fucking Drake's address. Is this nigga obsessed with Drake?
Yes.
This nigga's weird, bro.
He's a super weirdo.
This nigga, not only, I understand he has mental health conditions, but this nigga is also just weird. Like, what did you do that for? Why was you sitting there? You Kanye, you the biggest thing in the world, according to you. And you sitting there thinking about Drake in Marvin's room.
Yeah, bro's nuts.
He is super nuts. But, it's still fuck Kanye to me. I don't even give a fuck. Fuck him forever. I don't even give a fuck. I was listening to, some shit came on the playlist. Oh my God. What song was that? He was on the Schoolboy Q song that I really like. Oh, no, she the female. OJ. Is it that part? I forget, but
that part,
right? So I didn't even remember that. I don't know why. I just listened to the song the other day. It's in like a playlist that I got, and Kanye part came on, and Kanye was just like, he came home from the club. He had glitter on him. He said, my wife gonna kill me. And then he was just like, cause she the female OJ. And I was just like, yo. I was just like, bro, like, you gotta be a wild nigga to say some shit like that when you know your mother-in-law done fucking fuck OJ and her kids is being alleged to be by fucking OJ and their fucking dad defended fucking OJ. Like, there's so many reasons why that shit was fucked up for Kanye specifically to say that.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this nigga wild. And I was high as shit when I heard this shit too. And I was just like, yo, I never really peeped that part before. Like, this nigga wild as fuck to just say that. Like, as his wife, what the fuck do you say?
Right.
Like, nigga, what the fuck? Why would you say some shit like that?
Bro say mad wild shit. I mean.
Donda, Kanye's new release in the 27 songs is literature.
I fuck with it. I fuck with it a lot.
I'm gonna say it's lit cause I don't have really any opinions or really care, like literally at all. So I'm on some, if you like it, I love it type shit. Trick Daddy. Let's talk about Trick Daddy. Let's talk about fucking Trick Daddy Dollars. Been on fucking, Drink Champs and going viral for some shit that he said before. But I think for me, it was the way that he said it this time. So Trick Daddy was on, Drink Champs, podcast, Dory's podcast, DJ Effin. And they were talking about, oral and all that shit. And, Trick Daddy was talking about the fact that he a man and he a real man and he love real women. And he been talking about, oral sex and shit like that since 96, 97. He said he got one of the first songs where a nigga was like, he ate the pussy, you know what I'm saying? I'll eat your coochie with your legs up, and I'll blow all in your butt. So he said he was the first nigga that was really admitting to that. And he is trying to expand the eat a booty game, to women. And he said women are out here eating booty too. It was this particular statement for me that just, I died. It was when he said, yeah, I get ate out. Hey, yo, I'm going to insert this clip here if I can. I'm going to send it to our engineers.
When you say women to support the eat booty game, you saying women is eating the booty?
Yeah, women eat the booty too.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't know whether to make noise for that or not.
Yeah, I get ate out.
Yeah, wait, what?
I get ate out. Listen, man. Check this out.
All right, Trick, you don't have your legs in the air, though.
It depends. We don't even think about it.
He said, you don't have your legs in the air, though. Trick Daddy said, it depends.
Hey, I like that, man. Use, only the truth. Ain't nobody can use it against you.
Hey, fact. Is it still taboo?
Words,
is it still taboo for niggas be getting their butt ate?
I mean, nah. If you like getting your ass ate and you don't feel no type of way about it, nah. I mean, if you feel comfortable enough to talk about it, shit, ain't nothing taboo if you feel comfortable with it. But I don't know. I ain't really with the ass eating shit. I'm cool on that. That shit is a little too much. Like, I don't want to feel that weird. But
give it and receive it.
Nah, yeah. I lick the butt. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, nigga. I've been fucking for a long time.
Right.
Yeah, ain't too much I haven't done with a woman, for sure. But yeah, I'm cool on the ass eating shit. That shit. For me, I don't like it's just a weird feeling and it's not for me. Like, you can suck my balls and lick around my goops and shit, jelly line, but nah, the rest of that, like, don't go to
I just want you to know that jelly line is a term that I feel like I learned from you, but a very long time ago.
Probably.
Like a long fucking time ago, way before this podcast, probably fucking way before 30s hit. Like, I was like, jelly line, like I always laughed at that shit because I only heard you say that shit, like jelly line and shit. This nigga said I get ate out. Like, even if you get your butt ate, I don't feel like that should be the term you use as a man. Like, I get ate out.
Yeah, she eating that butt. Shit. I mean, what's the difference?
Listen,
hey, we gotta be equal and fair. Same terminology.
There is not, first of all,
he can identify as an 8-outer. He can identify whatever way he wants to be identified as.
First of all, I just feel like a lot of grown men in general do not clean their ass well. One.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
Don't clean their ass well.
Well, he and my uncle, my homeboy Pops used to tell me, like, don't ever let a woman wash her drawers, son. He's like, so they gonna learn a lot about you.
That is disgusting. Like, that makes me gag. But niggas in general ain't really that clean, right? But then I look at fucking Trick Daddy of all the niggas. Like, Trick Daddy seemed like the nigga that'll put on some new shit and not even shower. Like, he gives his crevices and his nooks and his crannies are like you should have on a hazmat suit. Shout out to any woman, cause I don't know how much money a nigga gotta have for you to put your mouth on a grown man's ass, but to the grown men who are getting their ass eat and want their ass ate, shout out to you. Cause you knew how to pick them. To have a woman face down in some man ass.
Yeah, I'm straight on that.
Now, I think it's funny because, Trick Daddy went on his, timeline of, oral sex and shit like that. And I was literally just having this conversation this weekend where I feel like black women have always been given head, period. But for motherfuckers to be like admitting that they give head and shit like that, that's some shit that didn't happen in like mid 2000s. Where I feel like bitches like, yeah, I suck a dick. Let me where black women was admitting it. At first it was a white woman thing, right? They did it. Everybody did it. I feel like all women who slept with men did it, or majority of them did it, but they just wasn't admitting it, right? And then my conversation was, black women just started giving head in 2000s, and I feel like people just started squirting in the 2010s. Like, I don't feel like squirt was a thing in the 2000s.
Yeah.
I was just like, how did this happen? How did bodies start squirting all of a sudden? With that shit. Oh. Is there a masculine way to get your ass ate?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
You don't have no friends that when y'all trade stories and shit, they'll be like, yo, she ate my ass?
Nah,
when y'all have a locker room talk?
Nah, not that I recall any niggas be getting their ass ate. I mean, if they do, I don't know if they,
they not saying it.
But, yeah. Not that I can remember anyway.
I feel like in 2021, it ain't really no surprising shit no more. It's just really who said it. I think that's what made
Why
it so
you
funny.
being weird to me?
Hand on neck, hand on frontal. Bong,
That
bong,
motherfucker is
bong.
funny, man. She's super funny.
Why are you
I seen
acting
her.
weird?
She used to be on, like, I first saw her on Gilly and Wallow podcast back in the day and shit. Don't Call Me White Girl. She funny as hell.
That was super funny. The scholarship prank is funny to me too.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
You been busting out any crates? They been busting out the crates around your way?
Nah, man. I live in the suburbs. We don't do that shit over here.
Hey, bruh. Niggas is fucking themselves up.
They were. That shit, niggas stop doing that shit now.
Fucking themselves up on these fucking crates. And then you got cops and shit doing the shit. I'm like, nigga, what if you found your fucking firearm discharged?
Right.
Like, you about to get in trouble when this goes viral. That you out here walking fucking crates on the job, fully loaded.
You gonna try to file a workers' comp claim or some shit.
And B Hill will be waiting for your fucking workers' comp claim. But listen.
I don't do work comp, but yeah.
Hey, you might be managed on workman's comp at another company one day. But listen, I say whatever you like, do it. Shit, eat ass. I think everybody probably, majority of people down for getting their ass ate. You know? And, I just think that, Trick Daddy is hey, Tilly loves Trick Daddy. I want her to hear that. Tilly had a crush on Trick Daddy for a very long time, and Trick Daddy ain't never been fine. But the niggas that she always liked them gutter ass niggas, like them. Again, put on brand new clothes and then wash your ass looking niggas. I always said that about Trick Daddy to her. I was like, Trick Daddy just don't get me, like, he clean. And then for him to be talking about he got bitches eating his ass, his ex-wife came out and was just like, y'all leave me alone. I didn't play no parts of that. He had more women than me. Like, don't think I was out here eating this nigga ass because I wasn't. But I'm just like, would you admit it though? Especially when he's your ex-husband now. You probably don't fuck with him as heavy as you used to. Would you admit to eating fucking Trick Daddy's ass? You definitely gotta, you definitely can't be afraid of the vaccine if you fucking eat Trick Daddy ass.
Right.
For fucking sure. Trick Daddy getting his ass ate is a little shit.
Lit, I guess.
I think it's lit just for him to admit that and him allow me time to laugh at, yeah, I get ate out.
This nigga Norris stay with some fucking viral moments.
Oh, 100%. You get motherfuckers drunk. You get motherfuckers drunk. Listen.
Half that shit, niggas don't even be drunk. They just fucking, he just makes niggas feel comfortable. He's so terrible at interviews. The shit is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's not, but he always get those viral moments. I wanted to ask you real quick though about, so that's lit. I'm giving that lit. I wanted to ask you real quick, cause this is one of your guys as well. So Cam Newton was dropped, right? From the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
And, they didn't even try to trade him. And they went with the rookie. And part of the reason,
sports take.
Huh?
So look at you with the sports.
Cause I wanted your opinion on it. You know what I'm saying? I don't follow NFL no more. But I thought that it was something very interesting only because of the COVID aspect to it. And they were basically saying that he was missing practice due to COVID protocols and that he's not vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons, why he was dropped. What was your thoughts on that? I know, Cam was your man.
I think it's low down. You know what I'm saying? I think he's still a very good quarterback. I think, my thoughts are that they probably told him that they were going to go with, the Mac Jones kid as the primary quarterback anyway. And he didn't want to play a backup role, and they probably amicably, came to a resolution. And, I think that's what it is. Cause, yeah, I don't know. I think that's really what it was, because I don't think Cam was willing to be a backup for an undrafted rookie. I mean, unfounded rookie that, you know, was drafted high just because media. And also it was white media, right? So like, what the fuck? Oh, oh, look at that. That shit scared the shit out of me. But yeah, I think it was, yeah, I definitely heard it. But yeah, I think it was also a play with the white media, because they had, you know, it's fucking Boston. So, you know, that shit is racist as fuck as it is. So, it was just a combination. I think they probably, yeah, I think it was a equal, like, wait, y'all can just let me go and I'll take my 3.5 million with me and then go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
You think it's going to be real easy for him to get picked back up? I mean, he is Cam Newton.
I mean, he should be. I mean, there's a clip that he had on Ocho Cinco podcast and, More Than an Athlete, where this was over the summer before he had got signed. And he was saying, you know, or spring, whenever it was, but he was basically saying like, it's not 32 quarterbacks better than me, which I agree with. Like Cam's still an amazing talent. He had a rough couple of years. Last year was trash. Everybody was trash. Yeah. He had COVID in the middle of the season and shit like that. So that shit derailed him, but he had he ain't have no squad. Like his team was trash. He left us, I think a little prematurely. Yeah. Especially since we had Teddy Bridgewater, who was a bum. But I think Cam's still an immense talent. He played well in the preseason, so I think it's definitely quarterbacks. There's definitely a need for quarterbacks in the league. I wouldn't be surprised if we go to Washington or, you know, somewhere else. So, or Dallas, cause.
You think he regret leaving?
Regret leaving who?
The Panthers.
He got waived. He got released. Oh, okay. He didn't leave on his own volition.
I told you I don't follow it. Honestly, when I stopped following the NFL, I stopped following the NFL.
He left. They released him.
Okay. I just knew he didn't play for the Panthers no more. I didn't even really know what was going on around it. I was just like, yo, like they dropped him because he wasn't vaccinated, and they were given like it was a piece that I was reading, and it was talking about, you know, like Boston and New England area in general, and they didn't really fuck with Cam like that, and blah 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 blah. And then, you know, it was like some little slant they was trying to put on it, like some racist shit or whatever, and Cam didn't kind of fit what they needed or whatever, as their star and shit. So I found that shit very interesting. Cam getting dropped, and the sports report is little shit. Yeah. Yeah, I hate seeing somebody not working, but Cam will be 100% all right. He is totally fine. He will not be working at Trader Joe's anytime soon. Let's give out some advice, B. You ready to give out some advice real quick?
Sure.
We're going to go into Ain't Shit in 2 Cents, which is our listener letter segment where we give advice to people who clearly don't have any insurance and want advice from us. And today's letter, email, whatever you want to call it, came from Ashley. And, the title was Pandemic Funk. She says that since the pandemic and the uprising,
which I'm still in.
Right. She says, since the pandemic and the uprising, I have had a roller coaster of emotions. As we enter month 18 of the pandemic, I am currently in a funk and I don't know how to get out of it. To continue to pursue my personal and professional goals. It seems as though this is going to last forever. Has there been a difficult time in y'all life where things seemed dark and bleak, but you made it out? What was your secret to get out of the funk and become motivated again? And that's from Ashley.
What up, Ash? I mean, you know, yeah, hell yeah, mad times. Like I've endured quite a bit in my day. This has been the longest stint of, shit, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's just been, it's just been a lot going on. Me and my homegirl was talking about it. Like, it's just been, you know, like, I mean, even, you know, like sending my kids to school with, you know, in the middle of a pandemic is fucking nerve wracking. You know what I mean? Like, they come home every day. You don't know, you know what I mean? Who they were fucking around and shit. Like, one little kid in my son's class, he had to go home because his nose was running and shit. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm on, it's like, so, I don't know, man. It's just, you got to try to stay as positive as possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta meet that bitch head on, because I've learned that, you know, trying to hide from it and not deal with it is just gonna make it fester, and then it'll get infected, and then you'll have a whole nother, you know, issue on your hands. So you just try to meet it as head on. Unfortunately, this is some shit that we have never dealt with, and unfortunately continue to deal with, and I don't know how long we will. I think it might be permanent. Who knows? I don't know. This shit ain't going nowhere. Yeah. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. And, you know, I don't know what recourse we have in order to try to remedy the shit. And I think that's the part that, like, you know, this shit is like Thanos out this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like, even with COVID, man, like, you know, for me, like, I ended up getting vaccinated last week, and it came down. It was several reasons that I ended up getting vaccinated. One being my kids were going back to school and being in the world. So I wanted to give myself, if nothing else, a fighting chance, just because, you know, it's kind of at this point, like, not if, it's kind of like when, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause literally I know mad people, like, and then coupled with the fact that I knew like 5 people within that same time frame, more than that, probably like 7 or 8, considering there was a bunch of families and shit. Cause people getting it from their families more so than anybody, right? Like, so you get it from one person and they bring it to the crib and everybody infected, right? So like, it was just that, like, for me, like, it was just, you know, the shit was just kind of closing in on me, you know what I'm saying? And one of my homeboys who live in my neighborhood, like, he was fucked up for like 13 days for real, like, bad, right? So like, and he wasn't vaccinated, but so I say all that to say, like, I ended up getting vaccinated because, you know, now it's come to a point where like my exposure rate is much higher than it was before. And it seems like, again, like I said, not if, but when type shit, just because mad people I know got that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, that I be around, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So that shit was just like, I was like, fuck it. Like, it was kind of like inevitable for me. To answer the question, I don't know. You just gotta stay low, keep firing. You know what I'm saying? Punch that bitch in the mouth as much as you can, as best you can, do whatever you can, you know, like, wear your mask, but, you know, you still got to go out and move around a little bit, just because otherwise, for me, I be fucking stir crazy sitting in the crib all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't do much. Like, I don't do much at all, actually. But, you know, Fridays I go get a haircut and ride around for a little bit, or, you know, you gotta get away. You gotta take some me time, especially with kids and shit, like having kids. You know, it's just difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I've pre-pandemic, I had a shitload of, you know, I mean, it's life, like I've had a bunch of shit, you know what I'm saying, that has affected me, you know, all type of shit, you know what I mean? And
what did you do in those situations to kind of get yourself like back up? Cause the pandemic is still going on. So that's something we don't even know the end of that story yet. You know what I mean? Like,
but even in that, like, so I just started traveling, like, the whole, like, you know, I was traveling March, April, May, and June. Like, I was going places, you know what I'm saying? Like, just thugging it out, like, just saying, you know, I got to live type shit, but, you know, still doing it cautiously and shit, and trying to be as prepared as possible, and trying to, you know, be as cautious as possible, but also at the same time, like, having to live some type of a life, because otherwise I'm just going to my mental health is going to be fucking, you know, in the bed somewhere, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's just like, it's just so, like, even, you know, my homegirl, shout out to Carmen, she was like, man, she like, I had to delete this fucking social media shit. Like, this shit be driving me crazy. Like, she was like, it's just so much negativity. She was like, you know, cause the first day of school, like, the bus drivers and shit, like, nigga, it's a pandemic. So niggas ain't working. Like, we don't have bus drivers. So kids was, the first 3-4 days of school, motherfuckers won't get home till like 5:36. And parents were upset, rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? Cause you don't know where your fucking baby is. But at the same time, like, nigga, this one bus driver got 5 different routes. You know what I'm saying? She be going, she forgot. Like, one girl said she forgot that she had a second route. You know what I'm saying? She did her route and shit, and she forgot to go back to the school. So she ended up, was at the crib, and they had to call her, and she had to come get the kids and shit. But, you know, you paying these niggas $16, $17, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I think they paying them $15. They giving them these bonuses or whatnot. But, I mean, you know, motherfuckers is bent. That COVID shit is no joke. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I know motherfuckers who like my man was sick. It's a dog for 12 fucking days straight. Like the nigga had a fever of 101 on and off for 12 fucking days and shit.
Yeah.
And like, you know, and then the remnants of that shit. So even like he still ain't back to work. And that shit was in the beginning of August. You know what I'm saying? Like he go back on Monday just cause
Damn. That's
he
a month
was
later.
weak as hell. Yeah, it's a whole fucking month later. You feel what I'm saying? So like,
yeah.
I don't know, man. This shit is just, but in terms of what you got to do, just, you know, I mean, I would say self-medicate because I've definitely been drinking and smoking way more than I used to. And I always used to drink and smoke. That ain't the best thing. Yeah. Take a walk, you know what I'm saying? Do some exercise. You know, if you like playing games, play the game. Go see your people and shit. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta, I don't know, man. You just gotta do what you think might work. Try some shit. If it don't work, then scrap that. But exercise is always a good key. Roll you some weed. I don't recommend any harder drugs and maybe alcohol, even those are pretty.
We don't condone harder drugs here.
Alcohol can take you through there too, though.
That is very true.
I you know, smoke some bud if you can.
But we definitely taking shots before Coke.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, shit. Keep it a band though. I don't know how many niggas is getting DWIs off powder versus Coke. I mean, fucking shit like.
No, you know, motherfuckers' hearts is failing and shit a lot quicker. It takes a lot of alcohol damage to get you to that point. Like, you gotta be an alcoholic. Like, literally an alcoholic to be fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Off of alcohol. But I think, you know, for me, like, first of all, to your letter, you know, I always recommend, like, what you could be dealing with could be something deeper. It could be a depression or something like that. So my first recommendation is always see a specialist, you know, mental health therapist or a doctor or, you know what I'm saying, something like that to make sure, you know, your mind, body, and soul is just good to function in general or get you back to that place. As far as the pandemic is concerned, like I was thinking about it, I was just like, you know what? With this pandemic, I just had to learn how to get my fun in a different way. Right? So like this summer, I did a rack of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I did a rack of shit this summer. You know what I'm saying? Like I done been out the country twice. I done been on trips or whatever. But for me, it is about the people you surround yourself with and people who understand what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm around people who don't mind getting tested, even if they are vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? I'm around people who, even though they're vaccinated, they are still wearing masks and taking, you know, more educated risks, because at the end of the day, like the misconception is that this vaccine prevents you from getting the virus. It does not. It does. It's for you. That's it. It doesn't help nobody else. It helps you. Like it helps you if you get it and you won't die, or hopefully you won't die. That's really all it does. My manager currently has COVID. And he been trying to get back. He been trying to shake back. He is been fully vaccinated since April. And it's crazy because he got some, I don't know, exclusive white man infusion shit where he said, I was feeling better. Like the next day, he got that shit on like a Tuesday. He don't know how he got it. Nobody in his family has it. Everybody had to be tested. His kids had to be quarantined, because they were exposed and they were not able to start school, but he has it. And you know, I met with him. He kind of came back kind of like after a week. He was like, you know, I'm getting better. But he's like a workaholic type nigga. You know what I'm saying? He the nigga that's going to be sending emails on his deathbed. You know what I mean? Like he one of them niggas, like one of them corporate niggas that's all about that. You know what I'm saying? So he's still trying to work and he's sick as fuck. And then, he said he was getting better. And then I had a meeting with him yesterday and I was like, you good? And he was just like, yeah. So like with this COVID thing, I guess it kind of ebbs and flows. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you feel all right and then sometimes you feel like shit. You know what I'm saying? Like his face was all red and shit. I was just like, yo, like we can reschedule this. Yeah, I was just like, we can reschedule this, you know what I'm saying, meeting, you know, at the end of the day, none of this shit is life or death, you know what I'm saying? Not what we do. The shit ain't life or death, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, you good? He was like, I just feel bad, but he pushed through or whatever. Cool guy. I really like him. But listen, like I said, I've been on a bunch of trips. I've been out the country. I've had company. Look, in order to come to my house, if you want to come chill at my house, and you can't come chill at my house and go roam the city and come the fuck back. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, if I got company, my company know they gotta take a COVID test, and I take a COVID test as well. I went to a birthday gathering the weekend before. Shout out to Joe. Joe had an awesome fucking Coming to America theme fucking, birthday party. I talked to y'all about that on the last show. Like, people was pushing back because they had to take a fucking COVID test in order for admission. If you got motherfuckers that's so into themselves that they don't care about your health precautions, fuck them, bro. Like, fuck them. Like, how you going? A COVID test is free, my nigga. Like, you ain't even got to pay to go get a COVID test. Like, if this is the protocol in order for you to do something, then how you gonna argue with somebody about their health? You know what I'm saying? So, surround yourself with like-minded people is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Figure out what can you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do a lot of outside shit. I don't do, somebody invited me to a festival this weekend. I'm not going to a festival. I'm not going to a wine festival because it's outside, but it's too many people. You know what I'm saying? It's too many people on top of each other. I do understand that, you know, eventually I'm probably going to be pushed into a position where I'm going to have to get the vaccine. I'm just trying to wait that out because I know how I live my life. And of course, you can get it any type of way. I had an associate, who went to a fucking club on a Saturday to see fucking Gucci Man or Jeezy or something like that in Charlotte. You know, checked herself, started feeling sick, got a COVID test on Tuesday, checked herself into the hospital on Thursday, died on Sunday. Young, early 30s. I don't know necessarily about her vaccination status or underlying conditions, but she gone in a week, bro. Like, I'm sure no song, you know, rest in peace to her, and I'm sorry that she had to go through that. Listen, ain't no Jeezy song worth your life. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't worth it. Cause like I said, it's not preventing you from getting the shit. So you still you get that and you get that extra layer of protection, but you still gotta move about a certain way, in my opinion. But again, like I said, I'm trying to protect me. Even if I don't give a fuck about you, I'm trying to protect myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm going to think about me all the time. So I have to move, but I understand how shit going. They're basically going to put everyone in a position where they going to have to get the shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not anti-vaccine, but I am anti y'all just whipping some shit up. I am. So that's why I have not gotten it. But as far as like difficult times kind of in general, when I first read this letter, I thought about grad school. I thought about, you know, me graduating from college, going to fucking grad school, starting a new job at the same time, then having my grandfather pass away. And then the next year, my father passed away while I was in grad school. That was literally the most stressful time in my entire life. But I think what got me through that is my family understanding like my goals. The person I was with at the time, we were in a relationship. They got me through that. We're actually still friends to this day. And I feel like that situation plays a huge part as to why we are friends today. Not the only part, but I think that shit kind of like, like shit could have went totally different if, you know, I wasn't with them at that point in time. So I will always love them and respect them, for that part that they played at that point in time in my life. But you know, you got parents dying, you starting a new job, you starting a, accelerated degree. It was a lot, bro. I didn't think that I was going to make it for sure. But for me, I just had to lean on my family. I had to understand what the purpose was, like, this too shall pass type thing. And when you have parents and grandparents and shit like that pass, it never fades. You know what I'm saying? You're never going to be, oh, that's fine. That's cool. You're never going to get to that state. But, you know, the intensity of the pain definitely eases up. over time, where you can kind of focus more on the good times that y'all had in the memories versus, this person actually being gone. If I don't think of my dad every day, I think of him every other day, for sure. My grandma, I think of her every other day. My grandfather, I think about him a lot, So you never really get over shit like that. But just know that whatever emotions that you feel in, that they are in fact temporary, and you can get through them if you want to. Death is permanent. Like, don't make, life altering decisions, permanent decisions over temporary situations. So I just say, find what makes you happy. Because again, like B Hill said, I don't know how long this pandemic gonna go on. I'm 100% confident that we're gonna celebrate a 2-year anniversary in this pandemic.
Hell yeah.
100%. And it's not that we can't do anything about it. It's that, just like the uprising, is things that the government don't want to put in place for various political reasons or capitalistic reasons or whatever the case may be. So as long as we dealing with the same idiots, which they're not dead anytime soon, we're going to celebrate 2 years in this pandemic. But I do feel like it will go away eventually, or we will get into, I don't want to say go back to normal, because we're never going back to the state in which we were in January 2020. Like, we're never going back there. The lives that we led, we're never going back there. However, I feel optimistic that this is temporary, a long temporary, but definitely temporary. And it is our point in history where we can, talk about it. So, seek therapy. If you have the means, travel if you can. The countries that are letting you in, I don't know your vaccination status, but if a country is letting you in, like, you don't have to stay at hotels and shit. You can get bomb ass houses and shit like that. I don't know what your bank account look like. And hang around like-minded people. You know what I'm saying? It's people out here that never slowed down since the pandemic. And it's also people out here that are not vaccinated, that still acting like vaccinated people. And there are also vaccinated people out here that think they just can't get it. So pick your circles, wisely. And, I hope that helps. Let us know, how that pans out for you. And, much love from me and B, you know what I'm saying? Like,
the sugar deal.
Never watch your mental health. I watch my shit all the time. Like, when I feel like I'm motherfucking sleeping too much or I'm going towards the bed, because I understand that you don't know some shit fucked up in your brain because it's your brain. You know what I mean? Like, so, just pay attention to yourself, Ashley, and let us know, how that works out, or what you decided to do to kind of get past this hurdle that we have going on right now.
As the late great Nipsey Hussle once said, never let a hard time humble us. So just keep that in mind and keep pushing.
For sure.
Thug it out.
And if y'all want any more of this copay free advice, hit us up at theaintshitshow@gmail.com. That's the X where the I would be, and your letter may get read on the show. Let's wrap this bitch up. You ready to get into some free smoke? Free smoke?
Sure.
All right, we about to get into free smoke. Shout out to Drake and Certified Lover Boy. That's where this title came from. Free smoke, free smoke. And free smoke is where we talk about anything we really want to talk about, any hot button issues, personal topics. It could be anything from politics to petty. And today's topic is hip hop Mount Rushmore. One thing y'all know about us, we love sneakers, we love hip hop, we love music on this show. We love those things. Sneakers are a part of hip hop culture. So we love everything hip hop culture pretty much. And I went to the Trap Museum, weekend or two ago, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. I had a cousin in town and her daughter, she turned 16. Shout out to Christina. She turned 16. She wanted to go to the Trap Museum. I, strapped up with my mask and shit like that and went to the Trap Museum. And I hadn't been to the Trap Museum in maybe like 2 or 3 years or so since it first came. So it was cool. I went. But the inspiration for this free smoke topic is that there was a Mount Rushmore in the Trap Museum. And on that, Mount Rushmore, was Jeezy, Tighe, and Gucci Mane. And so I told B, let's do Mount Rushmores, North, South, Midwest, and West. At first I had East, but East and North and South was blending in. I was like, oh, we need to do Midwest. And so we're going to talk about our regional hip hop Mount Rushmores. What region you want to start with first, B?
We can go north, I guess.
Let's go north. Let's get the north. So the rules of the Mount Rushmore was that it was 3 that definitely belong there and 1 that we feel like could get there for a maximum of 4 spaces on this Mount Rushmore. So who did you have for your, inherited, they own, they place on this Mount Rushmore for the north?
I got J Big, Nas, and I have Drake.
Oh, I see what you did there. Cause I didn't even think about Canada when I said north. And then when I was doing the shit, I was like, oh, it may need to be a Canada category, but I guess that's just Justin Bieber, Drake, and Tory Lanez. As far as the people that I know, well, The Weeknd, yep, and The Weeknd from Canada. So I can see that. I have, Jay-Z, of course, I was gonna have that. Biggie. And I took a different approach with my third space because I had all of these people that I wanted, but I also was thinking about like icons and shit that played a lot in like hip hop and shit like that. So I actually put Diddy.
Can't go wrong.
On my Mount Rushmore because Diddy is the catalyst for a lot of other people that I probably would have put on my Mount Rushmore if I had the space. So I felt like Diddy was good. And then the same way you kind of did Drake, I put Nicki as my other person. My person that has, I feel like Nicki has kind of solidified her spot.
She's the greatest female rapper, all, like in totality of all time, I think, easily.
Well, I don't think that is easily, not now. However, Nicki has done things that female rappers have never done before, and she's also a female rapper that I feel like you don't even have to put female in front of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure. Nicki can smoke majority of the niggas out here. Like, Nicki is top tier. Nicki is in my top 5. Period. Like, outside of her being a bitch, cause I'm really not feeling Nicki from a personality standpoint, but from a rapper standpoint, ain't too many people saying Nicki, bro. Like, ain't too many people saying Nicki. So, North Mount Rushmore. All right. I want to know, you want me to go first or second? I want to know Midwest.
Oh, I definitely got Kanye.
Okay.
This was tough for me, so I said I'm gonna just like talk it out because it sounds like it might be better. But I got Kanye, I got Common just because Common Common is just he's just on every set, like he's literally like a fucking Swiss Army knife in terms of that. And he's still relevant, and coming out in 91. Kanye is obviously for obvious reasons. I couldn't really think of anybody else Midwest though, and that's a damn shame.
Wow. Okay. So I'll give you mine and maybe yours will adjust a little bit after I give you mine. So my Midwest is Eminem. I think Eminem has earned his spot regardless of what niggas say about Eminem. He's
definitely one of my favorite rappers of all time.
Yeah. Eminem had earned his spot. Like Eminem is on there. I had a debate between Big Sean and Common, right? And I really love Big Sean. Me too. I think that Big Sean will definitely get there, but I traded him out with Common only because I feel like Common is like, again, one of them niggas who he not only raps, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's an actor. Like, he is, white people love Common. Common being mad commercials you never even thought of. Like, Common might low key, like, not to that level, but be like the Midwest version of Snoop. Cause it ain't too many circles Common ain't in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Common is one of those representatives from Chicago that I feel like does more than just rap. So that's what I gave my spot to Common over Big Sean, even though I really love Big Sean. For my third spot, I went back and forth between Nelly and the Brat. Kanye was in it, and then my political reasons, I couldn't put Kanye. Like, my spirit just won't let me put Kanye. Like, if we would have put Kanye fucking 7 years ago, he definitely would have been on there. Today, my morals just ain't gonna let me do it. So Kanye wasn't on my shit. But I went between Nelly and the Brat. And I feel like Nelly kind of like put St. Louis on the map.
Ain't no kinda.
As far as, you know, rap and shit is concerned. But I ended up giving it to the Brat cause one, even though she blocked me, I ended up giving it to the Brat because one, I'm always trying to big up a woman. And two, Brat was the first platinum rap artist ever. First platinum female solo rap artist ever.
Yeah.
Like, she cemented in that regardless. You know what I'm saying? So I put the Brat on my Mount Rushmore, and then I kind of went back and forth again between like my new person being between Big Sean and Chance. And Big Sean made it back onto my Mount Rushmore. Only because I fuck with Big Sean like way harder than Chance.
Can't hold a candle to fucking Sean.
No, he can't. He can. Chance, I like Chance. Don't get it twisted. I like Chance, but I feel like Chance is a little bit overrated for real.
Yeah, super overrated.
Yeah, Chance is a little overrated for real. Even though fun fact, I personally fell in love with Chance on Kanye's Ultralight Beams. That's when I started listening to Chance. I knew of Chance, but I wasn't really listening to him like that.
Mm-hmm.
Before he did that verse on Ultralight Beams. And I was like, yo, this shit go hard. So my Midwest Mount Rushmore is M, Common, the Brat, and Big Sean.
Yeah, I'll throw M in mine, and then I like the Brat, but I'll give Nelly his props just because that nigga was like one of the greatest to ever do it. Like, at that particular time, like he sold fucking 10 million records off the rip. I had never knew anybody that sold 10 million records individually.
Yeah.
So
Nelly was that nigga.
Yeah, for sure. Nelly is still that nigga. Nelly come through the party and perform on the set. You're gonna have a bad day. If you gotta perform after Nelly, you're gonna have a bad day.
I'm not sure if I've ever seen Nelly in concert. I
seen him at well, I didn't personally see him, but I saw him he did J. Cole Fest, and like, you know, everybody was live and shit, and that motherfucker had that bitch going. I'm talking about like going. Like, outside of J. Cole, it was Nelly. Like, niggas, like, it was Meek, 21 Savage, Big Sean, I think. That was right around that same, like, it was all that, like, at that time. It was right when Nipsey had passed and shit. I remember that. But that nigga Nelly I'm talking about that motherfucker was rocking. I'm talking rocking. Like, it was him and Cole, like, that had the biggest reception. And obviously Cole was gonna, you know, do his. It was his festival, but.
His festival and his home. Yeah,
that nigga Nelly had that bitch going. I seen Nelly at Walnut Creek too, and he had that bitch rocking. Nelly that nigga, man. Just put out a country album too.
He did have that country album.
No, he just put it out like a week ago.
New one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he didn't have a country album. He just had a country single, right? With that guy. Because it's all in my head. I think about it over and over again.
He been in the country lane for a minute. He released some shit with Georgia, Florida Line and shit. Like, Nelly getting like super white money now.
Yeah. So much so that I've never heard any of these songs. Like, I ain't heard no new Nelly. I don't know. I couldn't tell you the last new Nelly that I heard. Let's do your best coast. Your West Coast. Who you got on your Mount Rushmore?
I got Snoop, Dre, Nip, because I love Nip.
Yeah, I knew you was gonna have Nip on
posthumously. Your That's just my nigga. And and I struggle between Game and K-Dot. But I'm gonna go with Game because Game, discography wise, it's not many that can compete from top to bottom with his music catalog. So yeah, that's my 4.
Yeah.
And it was, I always thought about Cube and all that other shit like that, but I listened to a lot of Game. I listened to a lot of Nip. Snoop is the world's most famous rapper, and Dre orchestrated the sound that is the West Coast essentially. So.
Yeah. So, okay. So I have Pac.
Yeah.
Snoop.
Can't go wrong with that either. But Pac from the East, like Pac, he claimed West Coast, but like Pac was like, he was like a universal nigga. Like that nigga was.
I don't think of Pac as West Coast for real.
Like,
I always thought of Pac as East Coast.
Yeah, like he was mad niggas in one. Like he was just that nigga was wild. So but California Love is California Love, right? So like his claim to fame really came on the West Coast. So,
he claimed he was, he was originally from the West and then he moved to the East and then he went back to the West. I don't know, but it opened up a spot on the West for me that I couldn't put on in the East.
I ain't mad at it.
So I definitely put Pac on there. So it's Snoop Pac, right? Now, I feel like what I'm about to say is an unpopular opinion, but let me tell you why I said it. I put fucking Eazy-E on my Mount Rushmore.
That ain't a bad thing.
And the reason I put Eazy-E on my shit, not necessarily because I just thought Eazy-E was so fucking dope, but if there were no Eazy-E, there wouldn't be the Dre's and the Snoops and the NWA. Like, NWA started fucking gangsta rap. Like, they're credited for starting gangsta rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I thought about all these niggas that I wanted to put on my West Coast joint. So I was just like, how about I just put the nigga on there? That's the reason for all these other niggas. So that's how Eazy-E made my joint, and my gonna get it soon nigga is Kendrick for sure. I like Game too. I fuck with Game as far as his music is concerned. But Game be hit or miss depending on what it is for me. And I fucking love Jesus Peace. Jesus Peace is one of my favorite hip hop albums. Probably top 15, hip hop albums. But, yeah, I thought about Game too, but I ended up giving my shit to, Kendrick. And my shit be just more than just, do they rap good or do they got good music? It be other shit in my shit where I ain't trying to immortalize niggas like that. Last but not least, and I feel like this gonna be real different. Our list gonna be real different, for the South. You want me to go first?
Sure.
You want to go first? All right. So I just gave y'all the disclaimer on Eazy-E, and the South was so fucking hard for me that I decided to go the same route with the South that I did with the West and Eazy-E, because there are so many niggas in the South that has such great music that can belong. I decided to kind of put the niggas who is responsible for them niggas. So on my South Mount Rushmore, since I can't speak anymore, I got Master P. I got Jermaine Dupri. I was going to put Lil Wayne, but my heart just won't let me. I have Missy Elliott.
She's from Virginia. I guess that'll work.
Yeah.
I know. I don't really consider that South, but it is South. It's just not as South. Like, I think
the way I think about it, the South starts at Virginia.
I think it starts at North Carolina, but but I mean, cause it's still country in South Carolina. I mean, I've spent many a summer in Virginia and it's very fucking rural at certain points, but it just doesn't have the same, like, Southern je ne sais quoi for me, but I feel you. I mean, you can't go wrong because it truly is below the Mason-Dixon line. So that's technically.
I had people arguing with me about, like DC being in the South. And I'm just like, okay, like wherever you want to put it. Like, I think they be trying to make you feel bad. Like, I don't give a fuck about North-South shit. Like, y'all care about that. Not you, but I'm just saying people care about the North-South shit. Like, I don't care about none of that shit. You like, oh, DC in the South. Okay, if you feel that way, I'm not about to argue with you about fucking geography. Like, cool. Like, that don't make me feel bad. I like the South. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I like the South. So it ain't nothing to me for you to act like that is, DC is in the South. But I do just genuinely myself think of the South starting at Virginia, and because DC is right there in between Virginia and Maryland, like, I guess you can make the argument. I get it. You can make the argument. I wanted to fucking throw Wale in there just because, but I couldn't find no spot for him. So, but I love you, Wale. I love you. And then, my person that was, I feel like up and coming, I kind of, it was so many people from the South. I just gave my shit to Lil Baby.
I can do that.
I gave my shit to Lil Baby. What's your South Mount Rushmore?
I did mine like similar to that. I got P. Actually,
you got P on your shit.
I'm gonna take P out. I'm gonna take P out and I'm gonna put Birdman because.
Yeah. I wanted to put Birdman, but I was just like, I just really can't see Birdman. Facts, yeah.
He's definitely, he's literally the reason for, like, he's, like, the reason that Drake, he's the reason for all that. Drake, Nicki, everybody. The tree of his fruit is still, coming from that tree.
No, for sure.
As of Friday. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna replace P with bruh.
Yeah. I can see that, cause I thought about that as well.
Yeah, I got Wayne, just cause Wayne is.
That's your nigga.
Like, yeah, I grew up with Wayne. That's my nigga. He just dropped a crazy verse on, West Side shit with no auto-tune. It was just like fucking Wayne rapping. It was amazing. Well, he been smoking a lot of shit actually, now that I think about it. But, I got Tip too. Tip and Wayne are my favorite two rappers from the South. And they're in my top 5, of all time. I grew up with the
Tighe in your top 5?
Absolutely.
Tighe dope, don't get it twisted, but I ain't know he was in.
Yeah, I grew up with their music and I was living their, like, that music at the same time. Like, we essentially damn near the same age. I think Tip is a year older than me. So, like, all that shit, and then Wayne is my same age or a year older than me or some shit. So I was growing up, simultaneously for that. So it resonates with me, and it was just fucking great music. And then, I didn't put any new up and comers, but I for the sake of the show, I could do Lil Baby. I think he's gonna do awesome things. Like he's sharp. He be on his shit. You don't never hear no scandals and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he take care of his kids. I think he's just gonna be a solid nigga. I think his mind sharp as fuck. He's by far the best little nigga there is, in my opinion. Like he be spitting. I like when he say in his raps. I like his interviews when I hear him talk. I think he's really, really dope. I think 21's gonna be dope too, but I think out of like all the little niggas, I think Baby is by far leaps and bounds the superstar of all them niggas.
You think 21 is like a contender? Like, I like 21. I like 21.
I just like 21. But I just like 21 as a person.
Yeah, I'm just like 21 really.
Well, he made dope music though. He made dope shit.
He make dope music. Yeah, he makes good music. But I don't know. I don't really. Again, we taking in a bunch of different factors is what I need to understand. We're taking in a bunch of factors to qualify this. But like, I think 21 was on something, the other day, and this nigga was talking about some, when men cheat and when women cheat, when men cheat, it's like conquering a woman. But when women cheat, she was being conquered. I was like, bro, niggas, I cannot do y'all be like, niggas just be saying like, oh yeah, let me tell you why it's okay that I cheat and not okay that she cheat. Cause she cheated on me and I couldn't recover. I'm just like, yeah, bitch, it's a fucked up feeling, my nigga. Like, but it's you can't think about that from the other person's perspective. Like, Your chick feel the same way you feel. Like, you saying you looking at her and you can't believe she sucked another nigga dick. She looking at you the same way. She just, unfortunately, you know, a lot of women just have more heart and they want to see you through that shit. But that shit be fucking with her too. I don't be in them situations, but I know a lot of people who have. 21 is funny to me, and the fact that Amber Rose got him drinking water is hilarious to me. But I want to thank y'all for joining us, and make sure y'all listen to the show. Y'all can follow us at the Ain't Shit Show at Gmail. My bad. Y'all can follow us at the ain'tshitshow.com, and that's the X with the I would be. If y'all want to write us, y'all can write us at the ain'tshitshow@gmail.com. But y'all know we are on all the streaming platforms. And tell a friend to tell a friend. And I like to end the show with a quote. And today's quote is, life doesn't get easier. You just get stronger. And until next time, make sure y'all manifest your destiny. Please continue to protect yourself out here in these streets, whether it is racial injustice or COVID. Continue to manifest your destiny. And in the words of the late, great Nipsey Hussle, the marathon continues. Yeah.